GG! The Mouthful Podcast is brought to you by GoodGame.Rock, the most welcoming gaming community on Facebook. Visit us at www.goodgame.rocks.
Welcome back, guys. This is Arnaldo, aka Mad Dog, and that there, sitting comfortably in his wonderful
Promise you I'm here.
gaming chair, is David, aka Dream Twister, and this here is the real episode 328 of GG's The Mouthful Podcast.
GG!
Yes. Love it.
You hear that?
Yeah. Is that the Doppler effect?
No. That's my smoke alarm because my house on fire. Evidently.
Actually, that's not your smoke alarm. That's the
yeah.
The smoke alarm for some reason did not go.
The smoke alarm would have gone beep, 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 beep. And he didn't even.
Wow.
Yes.
That's a little scary, sir. I feel like feel people in on the event.
Oh, I found new and exciting ways to be stupid in the kitchen, and evidently, I try to cook something that was extraordinarily out of my reach. You know, I try to follow the cookbook, and I try to measure all my ingredients, and of course, I'm talking about doing fucking mac and cheese. And not doing mac and cheese, but doing mac and cheese in the microwave. Somehow the culinary art eludes me, and I end up with a kitchen fire, like a little kitchen fire, because my stupid ass self forgot to pour water on the mac and cheese. One of the most essential ingredients, mind you, that you will need to make it happen. And I just did it naturally. Like, I've done this all the time, you know. It's like I just wanted to have something before we start the podcast, given that we record sometimes for upwards of 4 hours. So I wanted to make sure that, you know, I have my stomach ready. And oh my God, it was so stupid. Then on top of that, none of my smoke alarms went off. So I have no idea this is happening until I opened the, I can see the white smoke coming out of my microwave, and of course I open it, and that like bellowing of white smoke comes out of it. I see that the container where it was, like, I mean, it wasn't like a flame, but it was a little bit. It had embers, let's say.
Oh my God!
And and then and now the whole house smells like, burn. The room is foggy. The whole house is fucky. And all my windows are open, so of course my neighbors are listening to this whole thing. This whole exchange. Yeah, it was a great way to start the podcast. Realize that evidently I can't even do that. You know, I swear to you, I will find a way to burn an Oreo by just opening it out of the bag.
Oh my God. Well, sir, I have had my share of culinary disasters, so I
don't believe that.
It's true. It's true. You don't get good at it until you run into those things. Now, to be fair, I think the only thing I ever had the microwave. I don't think I ever had an issue with the microwave, to be honest with you. Other than the fact that
they're idiot proof, but evidently not.
I'm pretty sure I did. I never did the whole metal in the microwave. You know what I mean? Which, that's some shit. Your mom tells you up front, like, never put anything metal in the microwave.
I swear, I thought that I thought that it was something like that. I mean, not maybe not metal, but I was wondering like what could I have done? And my wife started asking me, "Well, did you open the container? You know, it has like a plastic top. You know,
Mhm.
you just remove. Did you remove the plastic?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I did that. Did you took out the cheese that they put inside?" It's like, "Yeah, I got the bag right here. Did you put water?"
There it is.
And
There it
that's
is.
when it hit me.
The old water.
It wouldn't be. I wouldn't be making such a big fuss about it if it wasn't for the fact that I literally can't breathe. If you guys notice that I sound funny, is because I'm trying to breathe through my mouth because it is so potent and it's annoying. I don't know. My wife is it's okay, but she's watching Better Call Saul,
Oh, okay. Nice.
and
Does she
yeah,
like that? I'm curious. Is she like it?
she's in the third season already.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, she started it recently. She's on the third season. She's enjoying it.
Okay.
It may be so good that it makes you forget that.
Clearly, yeah. I was gonna say it's that good. Smoke?
Yeah,
What
she didn't
smoke?
even
What are you talking about?
realize that it was happening. But of course, I'm not gonna blame her because that's
What
also what's
was
stupid.
did she like casually pull out a fan? Like I can't see it. What is this smoke coming out
Where's
of?
this?
Where's the smoke
Did they
coming
get
from?
fucked outside?
I know. Did we leave the door open? I don't understand what's going on. Oh man. Well, guys, to say that we have a jam-packed show would be quite the understatement. But
like I
before
said,
we even
like I told you guys, 4 hours. I'm telling you, all right,
before we even get into
run.
any of that, first, if you haven't already, guys, I need you to go to goodgame.rocks. Join the conversation. That, of course, takes you right to our Facebook group. And wherever you're listening to this, please like, subscribe, and share the podcast with everyone. What we normally do is first we go into what we have been up to, move on into various news items, and then, of course, we finish with our hot topic of the week. This
This
week's
week
hot topic,
topic.
the best game of all time.
Oh snap! We're doing it. We're counting it. We
We
are.
are counting it.
Holy
Yes.
shit! I can't believe it. We are so bold as to bring it ourselves, bring it upon ourselves to to dictate what the best games of all time have been.
Yeah.
And your opinion be damned.
Yeah, pretty much. This is really the opinion. This is the culmination of several brilliant minds. First, yours and
We
mine.
started on
Yeah.
podcast 13.
Yeah, that's right. Yours and mine. And then, of course, we brought in Chaos, we brought in Dark, and we brought in Nivel Escondido's own Sparrow Wolf.
Ooh, that's how you know we're legitimate.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
We got
that's really
actual
the only way.
celebrities in here.
Yeah, that's the only way we got. Seriously, that's the only way this is a legit
Yeah.
list at this point.
We need to have Sparrow certification. Otherwise, what is this?
Exactly. So what we did is we all created our own, very own top tens, and then we, you know, by we I mean the computer that I have here, put it all together, and now we have it. All these games ranked from from the bottom to the top.
And
And
this is where it's gonna fall apart
yeah.
in a grandiose way that I can't wait.
So out of the think of it this way, so you understand how we're doing this, and I'll probably mention it later on again, just to remind everybody. But obviously, there's 5 of us, top 10 lists, 50 games, right? Total in the end of actual games is actually only 38. Why? Because obviously, along the way we've selected some, we agreed upon certain ones being in the top 10, but where do they fit in the top 10? Well, my friend, that is where the scoring comes in. First, in each individual top 10 from 10 to 1, gave a numerical value. So if it was in your top 10 as the 10th place, it got 1 point. 9th place got 2 points. A3, blah, 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 all the way to the top where your number one pick would have 10 points. And then, of course, you accumulate those together, throw them into a nice little system, and then you have this wonderful list from the bottom to the top, which I cannot wait to share. I've been so excited for that. I mean, it's been how long now? Months that I've been saying, guys, send me your top 10 for crying out loud, so I can get this going here.
Mine
Uh,
came in at the last minute, literally yesterday.
Quite literally, yes. The formula was just sitting there. Need input.
Yeah,
David Santos
yeah.
picks, please.
The algorithm was starved for input. It needed to compute all this time.
Yes.
It was chugging along without my list, and of course, I had to throw it there. Sir, I'm very curious
Yes.
about this particular method of ranking because I see some some concerning gaps and flaws that
Okay.
I
Okay.
can foresee
Okay.
that are the only thing that have me a little hesitant on stamping this fully, with our seal of approval. Uh, but I will. I mean, I'll I'll be abused.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure because you've seen everybody's list, their top 10. So you're
Yes,
like, how in
right.
the hell are you getting that's where the point values come in, my friend. That is where
Mm,
the point that's where it
that's where the algorithm
the algorithm comes in. Yeah.
works. Okay.
And then on top of that, so as I mentioned, if it's on your list and it's your
Mhm.
10th place out of 1 through 10, it got 1 point. Everybody has the same thing. Everybody is using the same rating system. If for any reason this the game appears on multiple lists, it got an additional 10-point boost to obviously move it up. So make sure that sits towards the top because now it's on multiple lists, and it makes
I
sense in the end. Trust me. Trust me.
I see what's happening here. Actually,
Yeah.
I know what this smell that I'm feeling. Well, that's the burned
The
house.
burnt kitchen. Yeah.
Yes, that's my burnt kitchen. But no, I can smell. I see what you're doing, sir. You're just trying to make everything a football league. I know that you're trying to do that. I know that you're trying to make everything a fantasy football league. I can
Oh,
see that.
I know, I know. I can't help it. It's that time of the season, bro. It's the time of the year. It's in my head the whole time. What do you want from me? I just brought it over. Anyway, it works. You're gonna like it. You're gonna appreciate it, and we're gonna have a lots to talk about.
And
But
you're
before
gonna
we
love
do,
it.
and you're gonna love it, whether you like it or not. Anyway, let's start with what we always start with, sir, and that is of course what we have been up to. Throwing it over to you, sir. What? Pray tell.
Ooh.
I've been on my computer a lot this week, and I know what you've been doing, but by all
Mm.
means, sir, share with us what have you
Oh
been.
man, I didn't write this one. I really don't have much unlike last time because like I said, I've been trying. Well, actually, I have been trying to be active, but like every day so far, it has been raining after work. I look outside and it's super fucking raining, so I haven't been able to do anything outside. Um,
What were you gonna do?
and
Running, walking?
yeah, yeah, or walking or just yeah.
An umbrella, bro. Come on now, that's excuses.
Yes, I know exactly, and that's why I'm not. I wasn't fully committed evidently because I didn't take.
I
It
think
didn't
so.
occur to me that I could just use a fucking umbrella. That was smart, but there was a reason. There was a reason why I didn't think of it. You might say it was an excuse. Um, Obviously, I told you last week I'm done with Horizon and I haven't played anything else. And last week it was kind of like it was very worrisome because I felt like I was not excited about playing anything at the moment. I wasn't like I didn't want to game at all, and we had a discussion, and it kind of I was worried because I felt like maybe this is it. Maybe I just you know maybe I'm realizing that I'm not caring about this venture as much as I used to before. Like I don't have the same passion, and I'm just gonna become like, we've had people, we have friends that have
Yeah,
falling out. They have falling out of gaming. They have shifted their priorities, and and more power to them. There's nothing wrong, with that. Um, but I was worried because gaming has been an intricate part of my life forever, and the thing that I've always loved doing, and one of the most pleasant and most fulfilling hobbies in general for me. I was worried of losing that, and so I don't have to worry anymore because
Ooh.
it turns out that all I need, it's what you've always said. All it takes is one good game.
Mhm.
Now the problem is we haven't had a good game in a while. And I mean, we have games that are good, but we haven't had a good game,
Yeah,
since
there have been game of the
February.
years, sure, but that's just because we're only judging within that year.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
exactly. I just need something. I just need something to grab me. And when all when all else fails, I could really just trust in my number one and best game, and the one that is gonna be absolutely my game of the year this year. No spoilers because you guys know that I've loved this game, Elden Ring.
Mm-mm-mm.
I
Trooping
am
back down Elden Ring.
yes, I am back on that horse and fully. It's ridiculous how incredible is to be playing that game and be having the same fun. Maybe not the same fun. You kind of already know the general things that the places where you have to go and stuff like that. So what do? You either go into New Game Plus, right?
Mhm.
Or which that should have that should have done that, but I really wanted to try something different than my character, which is fine because you can respect your character.
I
But
was gonna say, actually, I was gonna ask you that. Have you done it at all like, did you even attempt to start a New Game
no,
Plus or no?
no, I haven't.
Okay.
I haven't. I haven't. Honestly, I mean, at some point, maybe I'll at some point I will do it. Uh, right now, I'm still more interested in the lore aspect of it than the progression aspect of it. So I decided to go back and focus on a particular build that it would not have been my first choice, and I'm playing it right now, and I'm having a really really good time with it. I am going with a faith
Mm.
slash arcane build. Those are
Arcane,
my
interesting.
those are
Okay.
my two primaries, Fate and Arcane. So not going quality, not going, strength, and not focusing on decks or sorcery. No, it's Fate and Arcane, and I'm focusing on the aspect that I enjoyed that I didn't that I saw the least in my last two playthroughs, which is the frenzied fire or the fire
The frenzy
frenzy.
fire, yeah, the frenzy flame.
The frenzy flame, yes, yes, yes. I have a build that its sole purpose is to main frenzied frenzied attacks, the main
Mhm.
thing, and that's it's not that's not easy because when you're attacking with the frenzied flame, another thing that happening is that you are getting uh you are getting hit with your madness level
Mhm.
starts increasing, and if it fills out the full bar, you lose something like 150% of your life bar, and like I forgot what percent.
150%?
Or was it what was it? Double check the numbers for me because
Okay, I was
it's
gonna
not.
say.
I'm sorry. I don't mean. Sorry. I don't mean like you lose everything plus 50%. That's not what I'm trying to say. I also thought that it was weird the way they said, but I could have sworn that it sounded like that. You lose a chunk of your life bar.
Okay.
Of your health bar, I should say, not your life bar, because your life bar stays the same size.
Okay. 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 Gotcha. Yeah. So it
um
starts to pull away from your health. Okay, that makes
right,
sense.
right, right. And kind of like if you proc a bleed
Hmm.
effect,
Okay. Gotcha.
like it takes a chunk, sort of like that, so you got to be careful with manage, so you got to be
You can
aware.
use it, but you don't want to overuse it.
Right, right. You have to know how to manage, or at least that's becomes the game plan, trying to manage the its usage. Now there are ways to mitigate the madness buildup with focus, and there are like the best build for this, believe it or not, that the best garments to wear. It's a white, a very light, you know that shambling, like super easy enemies that you
Yeah.
kill like in one hit,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they're wearing this robes that are kind of very flimsy. I'm talking
Hmm.
about like the very low level, enemies.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
What they're wearing, which I think is called the commoner's garb, I want to say. I could be wrong,
Okay.
but that's one of the best things you can wear, because it gives you a high degree of focus, and it also gives you +1 faith, and that allows you to mitigate quite a bit the amount of madness that you get from using it, all the time. One of the things I love about Elden Ring is the fact that every item, there are no trash items in this game, unless it's something. Everything has a purpose.
Just
Um,
understanding its purpose. Yeah.
it's
And
understanding
yeah.
purpose, yeah. But as far as gear, there's no trash gear. It might be trash to you because you don't want to focus that way. You don't want to do that, but you can still beat the game with the actual gear that you have from when you started.
Mm.
You know, and it has it has its purpose. The question is, do I want to continue? Like, even the basic sword that you will get, or the basic staff that you might get, has its benefit.
Yeah.
So when I say that I could make an awesome build and just wearing like the commoner's garbs, and the nobles socks or whatever the hell they're called, the sandals or whatever the hell is it that they wear. Um, it sounds silly. Like, really, you're gonna go against the elder beast dressed like that. I was like, hell yes. Hell yes, you can pull it. You can pull it off. Now, if you're interested on playing, on in Elden Elden blinging, that's something else.
Yeah.
Then it becomes you know, then it becomes a game of balancing how you look versus making sure that you still have the stats that you need, which are not gonna be min max, but that's okay, because if you care about the looks, then you're not really min maxing. You're min maxing your style,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
at that point.
Elden Bling, like you said.
Yeah, yeah. Um, but and playing like this, like, I can't say my second playthrough was literally easy mode, bro. It was once I got a hold of the frigging Moonveil, uh,
Oh, the
it
moon. Yeah.
became super easy. And then you get Rivers of Blood and forget it. The game is baby mode. You can one time monsters, maybe not one shot it, but it might take like a few, very few hits. Like, you are steamrolling through the vast majority of the game. So that build was too powerful. And because of that, yeah, I have fun playing it, but also I felt like this is a little too cheap, because I literally min max with this with this build, you know, and that's okay. That's fine. As a matter of fact, Mad Dog, to you, I would say like unless you're having something that is occupying your time, or you're having too much fun or whatever, like if you want to find if you want to get back to it, uh what I would recommend to anybody that is doing a second playthrough of Elden Ring, it's to you already do you already prove yourself doing it your way. Now check out a build that is there, like the ones from Fextra Live, for the most part on YouTube. Yeah, it's like a ton of different Elden Ring builds that you can try, and make that your goal. So that if you like the play style, because every build is such a different play style, that if you find it fun, go for it. Do that, and you will realize that the game becomes easier, because you already know where everything is, of course, but also very fun, because now you're playing as the badass that you were meant to be. And I'm not saying that you're gonna steamroll to everything.
Yeah.
Right now,
It's still a
right,
hard game.
it's still a hard game. Yeah, don't get me wrong. Right now, I mean, I could have, I might have one time or two time bosses on my on my second playthrough, but on this one, I'm finding it difficult. Like I'm having, like I got my ass handed to me by Renala, three times last night before I was able to beat her.
Hmm.
And that's because, yeah, it's you make a build that it becomes a little bit more challenging, because of course, if you're gonna be depending on madness, for example, well, that frenzy flame attack, it's a fire base attack.
Mm-hmm.
What if the enemy has a high resistance against fire?
Yeah.
Well, now you're screwed, because
You're
you're
screwed, yeah.
first. You're gonna have to
You
switch
need a
gears,
backup
and
plan, yeah.
yes, yeah. Go for something else. Uh,
And that's really the beautiful balance of Elden Ring. I was gonna say games like this, but let's just call it what it is. The beautiful balance of
Dark
Elden
Souls
Ring.
has that in way. Like
Yeah, yeah.
Soul games have that, where like the gear is as good as the player in reality. That there's no technically, like I don't see it as trash gear. I mean, there
Yeah.
might be a trash
Like everyone was talking
item, but
about Nick's one of Mick's friends was talking about, if you do a magic build, it's like, oh dude, that's easy mode, like they said with the rivers of blood. And it's just like, yeah, but, and in my head, I'm going through the list of bosses. I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure you're going to run into one or two, maybe even three,
that's some bosses
that
that are gonna.
they're going to be super fast and not allow you to conjure up what you're trying to conjure. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
exactly.
So
Because
it's
you're
like, yeah,
standing there while
correct.
there is a time frame,
Exactly.
and there is
And
a
they were
that.
designed that way. It's like, okay,
Mhm.
these guys will be able to probably get the most out of these, but let's create something for that magic user. And then, of course, you have the ones, the mate like me. I was always pretty much in Dex most of the time
Mhm.
in these, and whenever, like in the very first Dark Souls with the butterfly thing. Pain in the
Yes.
ass, bro. And you were like, "Oh, I beat that in the first time." That's because you were shooting magic at it.
I was shooting magic at
Me,
it,
I
yeah.
had to get in close and he fly away. And I'm like, what the fuck? Come down here so I can slap you around. Yeah. So
Yeah, I mean, do you man? You, I always remember you used to say you will beat a game on normal, but if you want to experience the story again, you might just drop it down to easy and just run it through, like you did uh,
yeah, I did
with
that most of with
Uncharted and.
yeah, with pretty much any game that I was, because the difference there was for those is I wanted to revisit the story and I didn't want the
Mhm, mhm.
gameplay loop to get in the way.
Right,
There
right.
really isn't I mean, there's some story here, but it's not really about that. So I wouldn't like I would be okay with starting
I
over as
disagree.
well.
I would disagree. I think. I mean, it doesn't have the typical story of the typical story presentation. I should say it doesn't have the same the typical story presentation, but I can tell you, I'm going on this game, and it's main maybe main reason is the gameplay because the gameplay is very fun. But I'm also going for the lore.
Mm.
And this is me knowing already, a lot of the aspects. I don't know everything. And another thing that I'm finding out is that I'm realizing is that even on a third playthrough, I am still finding new areas that I haven't discovered.
Oh yeah,
Or look,
yeah.
or maybe not the major areas. Like I feel like I probably explored them all at this point, but at least some, nooks and crannies, hidden in an area that I didn't think that you could walk on. And oh, there's a new dungeon here that I've never gone into. And that happened a lot. And I found a dungeon. I found a tower that I've never been into.
I think that's the thing that calls me to it. Because don't get me wrong, I have been floating around with. I haven't got to the point where you're at with like really feeling like I just nothing is connecting.
Right.
And almost going through gamer depression, if you will. You know what I mean?
That's what I had. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
and so I haven't gotten that to that point yet, but I have been wandering, and I'm sure if you just look at the games that just the last few weeks what I've been playing, you just go, yeah, these are all small things that you whatever, and anything bigger I start and I just don't finish, and I'm like, and I'm almost okay with not finishing it. You know what I mean? I'll get into
mm,
later what I've been playing, but it has been floating in my head. It has been floating like, maybe I just go back. What the hell? This is Elden Ring's year. Might as well make it a thing. You know what I mean? And you playing it now for a third time, I'm going.
there's something special.
There's something. Well, I
There
already knew
is
it was
something.
something special, but I was like, this, something. Now I'm like, maybe I could just go in, look for a specific build, something random that I wouldn't
Yeah.
normally do, and
Yeah.
give that a shot. You know what I mean? I already,
Yes.
being I think at this point we can call ourselves, veteran Souls players.
Mhm.
Um, being veteran Souls players, you understand the mechanics. The mechanics don't change. What changes is your weapons and how you use them, and you just kind of have to alter them. But the overall mechanics remain the same. You can in the Elden Ring, you can jump and attack. That's a stronger attack. You know exactly the point where you need to roll.
Mhm.
If you have too much thing, you're gonna fat roll, and all the
Mhm.
other mechanics are there, and you get those. It's really about just learning the new weapon and maybe trying something different, and that is definitely tempting for
I
sure.
I I will tell you 100%. That's what I would say if you were to jump on it. Just look at some builds online. Like I said, the effects for live videos are the easiest one. You can actually see everything that they do, and not only that, but also the breakdown. Tells you these are the items that you will want to gravitate towards. If not, find them, and
Hmm.
then and you can make that your objectives. It's suddenly okay, this is here, I'm gonna get here, because I know that when I get this item, it's gonna make a difference. The first time I tried with the frenzy flame thing, I needed a lot to put a lot on fucking arcane, bro. Which is one of the stats that it's not gonna make you stronger. It's not gonna make you hit harder or take more hits or have your magic be more potent. No, it's arcane feels like a as if it was a wasted stat, like the resistance stats on Dark Souls. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Hmm.
It feels
Yep.
like putting their points there. It's like
Like
there's
no.
no point in putting points.
Hmm.
um but so dumping a bunch of them, it just felt like, oh man, my character is still weak, and I'm, this is hard again. And when I was first time that I was actually able to properly use the frenzy flame, like I can only use it twice, and I've used it a third time. I will go mad. My character will go mad, and it's such a cool visual,
When they go
of
mad, yeah,
you
yeah.
using it
That's
and
funny.
you going mad, and just it's very different, and it's really cool that they added that. Anyway, I knew that I needed I this build in particular is very dependent on a lot of items that you want to make sure you have, and you don't want to um
What's the build you went with?
replace it. He calls it the acolyte frenzy.
Frenzy
Uh,
Acolyte. Okay, I got
frenzy
you.
acolyte.
Mhm.
Yes. Um, and, I mean, and if you see in the video, he's standing in front of a troll, just like with one attack, kind of like Cyclops style. He's just melting in the the trolls, or some bosses, or even. I'm not there yet, but I am well enough in the area where a group of, like, I will not I'm not afraid of a group of enemies. You know how you want to try to get them one by one.
Mhm.
This time I'm not even worrying about that. Um, quite the opposite. I try to look for those opportunities where I have a group of enemies kind of nearby, because then I just I just go at that, and it melts them away. And it's so fun. It's so awesome, when you realize how powerful this character has become. Not not just that, but
How
also
far are you into it now? In your third
I'm
playthrough?
I put 24 hours now, and I am at level, I think I hit 60,
Okay. Oh,
55 or 60. I'm somewhere there. I'm somewhere there. Um yeah, maybe around that. The implications of the storyline, because I've never gotten the storyline of the Frenzy Flame, and I heard that it is interesting. I'm
mhm.
also finally fucking doing the fucking Diallo's quest line, which is the one
Oh,
character that
wow,
appears
yeah.
at the beginning of the game, and you never see him again.
Mhm.
And you keep wondering, like, okay, how the hell what is it that you need to do to make this go? And that's another cool thing that you could do. You say you play for the story. Well, you get those story beats. You get the only difference is that now you want to have like, if you're really interested in following a particular quest line, um you kind of gonna want to have the a walkthrough somewhere that tells you, because I still say that the only problem that I have with these games is that you can put yourself in a situation when you lock yourself out
Out of stuff. Yep.
of a lot of quest lines, and I don't particularly love that. Like, I can appreciate that it exists for the sake of, it's just one of those, things that Souls games do. Like, I can appreciate that. That's fine. But I personally don't like it, because then I'm too not only I'm too worried about missing it, but it's not like it's like it does a bad job of telling you what you should be doing next. Like, if it's so random, like these encounters, you have to stumble upon it many times to be able to continue a quest. Otherwise, it'll be like my first playthrough, where, aside from the main quest, I don't feel like I finished any of the other quests, because I honestly, I didn't want to see a walkthrough. I didn't want anybody to spoil anything for me, and because of that, I wasn't able to finish any of those quests, and get the items. It was too random. I don't like that. I don't like that. I wish for a future of the Ring, like, I don't want it to tell. Like, I don't want it. I don't want. I don't. I'm not asking for a waypoint on the map, because that's not this
No
type
one
of
wants that.
games.
Yeah.
Oh, but give me enough information in the dialogue that I can deduce, even if I had to think about it a little bit. It is a logical way of finding out where the next step to this quest line is going to be, because then I feel like I can actually take advantage of seeing all the content that this game has, um rather than just be something that is so completely and ultimately random that you will literally have to stumble upon it, or you miss it. uh and because you're constantly moving forward, there is a very good chance that you will miss it. So yeah, if I could have one, the one thing, but everything else, the balance of the weapon, the usage, the of the game, the game, the how different the game feels when you're playing a different build. Because you're right, the base mechanics are still there. You still know when you need to roll. You still know when to, when it's an opening for an attack. But the timing of everything is different because you're no longer a samurai, for example, or
Yeah.
you're no longer a mage or anything like that. Uh, you always need to play the game in a sort of different way, uh, and that's part of, that is awesome gameplay, and that's one thing this game has in spade.
Yeah, for sure.
I honestly haven't been doing anything else. I have not wanted to play anything else. I have not. Well, actually, that's not true. I put for some reason I have a hankering for playing a rally game, so I played their rally 2 or whatever the hell it's called for a little bit. And I've already spoken about, the game. I like rally games in general. Well, racers, I would say. Doesn't have to be rally games in particular. Um, but honestly, I didn't put anything else. I was Last week I didn't know what to play. This week I know that I just fell into the safest spot that I could be. It's like my refuge, my haven, if you will. Uh, but I'm having a fucking blast. I'm having so much fun, and I can't wait. Like once we're done, I'm jumping back in because right now I'm already past Raya Lucaria,
Oh,
and
okay.
I need to see where I go. So yeah, so the next part, it's gonna be the freaking the carrion manor,
The
uh,
carrion, no,
with the
carrion
hands,
man, right, with the hands, right,
with
right,
the
right.
hands. Yeah,
Fuck those
that should
hands.
be like, I
Yeah.
should be heading that way, and I'm not looking forward to that area. Not my favorite area of the game because of the fucking hands. And but who knows? Maybe now that I know more or less when they appear, I could just spam Flame of Frenzy. And by the way, Frenzy is not the only attack that I get that I have. It's the one that I'm using right now because it's the only madness type attack that I have found. But there's another one that I'm looking forward to finding, which is it's also like a frenzy attack, but it's almost like a sniper, like a
Oh,
sniper shot
kind of like the tower that was shooting madness out of the blue.
out of the
Remember
right.
that? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh right,
Yeah, the
I never
tower. Yeah, I
even thought,
remember the
but
tower. Yeah.
I didn't see anything hitting me though.
That's the thing is, but it was,
It's
you were
so
still getting hit
fast.
by madness. Yeah,
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah, yeah. No,
Yeah.
this one is it's actually it's a sniper shot. Like it will one shot kill a bunch of a lot of enemies, a lot of smaller enemies, and you can dispose of some bigger ones too. Because by the time they get to you, I'm thinking of those in uh knights that are always a pain in the ass to fight. I forgot what they're called.
Oh yeah, yeah. The Crucible Knights.
The Crucible Knights. Ah,
Yeah,
yes. Fucking
yeah.
Crucible
Fuck those
Knights.
guys.
I'm thinking of those because those ones you can aggro them from very far with this attack, and by the time they reach you, you would have destroyed them with this with this sniper attack. So I can't wait. I'm so fucking excited. I'm loving my my build. This time I didn't care. I just went with, oh, let's make this doesn't look like the nicest uh like it's gonna be the nicest ending in the game. I'm not gonna say it's bad because it like there's no bad ending, quote unquote, or evil ending or whatever you want to call it. But it certainly doesn't look like a happy, Ranny ending, So I'm looking forward to playing with this guy, this character. He is like a draconian species, I guess. Um, he his face and body is kind of He's kind of like a charcoal black, with white hair and like a very mean demeanor, which he was gonna look awesome when he gets those crazy eyes.
Hmm.
um, and like I don't like I'm playing, like I'm playing for myself. So this time, like you remember the quest of the lady that has been blinded by, from in the Weaving Peninsula.
Yeah, yeah.
When you running toward the Weaving Peninsula, there's a lady that she escaped the castle. Her dad stayed in the castle because the dad is like the commander or whatever, and he's defending there. Uh, and you go to that Castle Morn, and you talk to him, and you have a quest. Basically, you continue, and I'm not gonna spoil what happens next, but it's a quest line, right? Well, I saw on YouTube that he actually has a nice halberd. For early game,
Oh yeah, I think I
it's really
remember
good.
seeing that. Yeah, I remember seeing that.
It's a +8 already out of nothing,
Oh.
and but you have to kill him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I killed him. So I was
So
like,
I
no,
took him
that's
out.
I took him out. I grabbed his +8 halberd, and that's being my main weapon right now. Because I still consider myself to be early in the game. Um, well, not early, but it's still in the early stages, if you will. And yeah, it has been pretty good. It's not
Awesome.
super powerful or anything like that, obviously, but for those early enemies that I was encountering, hell yeah, hey, it was kicking ass. I mean, you're talking about a weapon that has been already upgraded to +8, but by that time.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's to have it that early. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's not
It's
hard to
cool
take him
things
out
like
either.
that.
So
No, no. He was easy to kill. I haven't gotten invaded. Makes me wonder if it's obviously the population of players that is playing this game right now has gone down a little bit. Still being played, but not that many. So I haven't gotten
not one invasion.
invaded
No.
just yet. Not one in the entire thing that I've been doing. But yeah, man, you know, let's see where it takes me. I hope that I don't have to talk about Elden Ring for the next 3 weeks. It feels like it because I'm really loving it, but I don't know. Let's see. At the same time, it's the third fucking time that I'm playing this game. I at some
Yeah.
point, I'm a little concerned that I might just be like, okay, I think I'm good here.
It's all good though. It's you still enjoying it, and that's all that matters. Doesn't mean
Yeah.
whether you finish it or not.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm absolutely love it, and I do want to see that, and like I already know about it, and I already seen this stuff, but I want to experience it.
Hmm.
So meaning I want to get the dialogue, and I want to see the places that I actually have to go and the things that I need to do in order to achieve that. And yeah, my intention is to fully play this to completion.
To completion.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. That, sir, it's all I've
Oh,
been
that's it.
playing.
Okay, okay. I didn't know if you had
I don't
a movie
remember.
or
I,
show or anything
I
going
don't.
on.
I don't think I've watched anything. This time. But it's not been because I haven't wanted or anything like that. I mean, it's my wife's been busy. Like I watch movies with my wife, and she's
Gotcha.
been very busy lately. So that's why we haven't had time. But I might throw something tomorrow. I have a couple movies that I'm curious about. And yes, I
Nice.
said I said movies,
I
not
know.
films.
I know. And I'm pretty sure I know what they are. Probably has.
No, it's not gonna be that one because that was too obvious. That one I'm just gonna live for. That's gonna be a safety net
A
for when I'm
safety net
feeling like I just don't want to think of anything.
when you're done. Gotcha.
Yes.
Gotcha. For me, sir, I have only been playing one thing.
Ooh, Elden Ring.
No, not Elden
Yeah.
Ring, but this does have its hooks in me. And I'm actually very happy. Like I was feeling very, oh man, what am I gonna play? What am I gonna do? What am I gonna whatever? And I'm looking at stuff and sidebar here.
Uh-huh.
Has the needle moved at all on Last of Us remake or part one, or whatever the fuck they call that shit?
Oh, right. That
Because that
shit.
shit has not moved at all. For it's just literally dead, dead. It's like no, and don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's not good. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just like I played that game from beginning to the end 4 times. I'll never forget it because I
Yeah.
knew it because I did it. I was like, man, I can't believe I did this. That's how I remember because I said to myself, this is the 4th time I fucking beat this. Why am I still playing this shit?
Uh,
And so yeah, that's why. And I'm like, I get it. It's gonna have no beautiful visuals or whatever. And I know that Digital Foundry had a lot of good things to say about the version and blah blah blah
oh
blah.
yeah,
And I'm
no,
like,
it looks great. I just
just don't
don't
care,
want to
bro.
play.
Just don't
Well, I
care.
don't like even me. You know that I'll probably grab something like like that. Well, I'm definitely getting on PC. But see, I'm waiting on PC because A, it's gonna
That
be on
makes
PC,
sense
but
because it
B,
hasn't been
because
on PC before.
I'm
Yeah,
not gonna pay fucking $70 for it. It's a fucking it's a remaster. It's whatever it is.
it's
It's
a remake. When
it's
you
a
look at
remake.
look at the
Yeah.
Digital Foundry thing, you just go, okay, they clearly went and remade this shit. The
Yeah.
question really comes out to why? Who asked for this? Who
Yes.
needed you to do this?
Right.
But we're not
Right.
going to get to that anyway. The point is that's coming out. There's a game that's in the horizon that I'm a little bit curious about. It's
Ooh.
called Steel Rising, but I just want to see a little bit more. It's another Souls game.
Oh yeah, Adam was telling me about that
Yeah, I
one
have it. I
today.
have it on
I had to see
on the
reviews on that one.
watch file. Yeah. I have it on the watch file. But again, even if it's good, I'm not like clamoring for it, anything like that. You know what I mean? It's just like there's just nothing. There's just nothing out there, bro. There's nothing out for everybody to play. Um,
Still, what
so
is it called? Still rising?
Steel Rising, yeah, I think it's called Steel Rising. Yeah, comes out next week, I believe. And
Mm,
and it's only fifty
interesting.
dollars. $50 for the regular game, or 60 if you want to
Ooh,
do the special edition. Which again, special edition of a game that we never heard of.
that we
Oh,
never
never
heard.
even
Yeah,
said, yeah, but
kind of sound
whatever.
silly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I went into the backlog and I just kind of took around to see what we have, and available to me through the wonderful service, and I'm just saying wonderful because I have to justify my purchasing the service. The wonderful service that is PlayStation Plus, not essential. What's the next one? Extra.
Plus, I mean, no
No,
plus. Pro, no
well,
pro.
it's essentials. Essentials, the one we've always had.
Right.
Extra is the next level, and then premium is the top level.
There you go.
And I have premium, but I'm only say extra because this actually came with the extra of it. And that, of course, is Metro Exodus.
Oh shit, Metro Exodus.
Yes, and dude, I'm really having some fun with this game. It is,
Yeah.
first off, this is the PS5 upgraded version, so it's really, really, really looks good. I
Yeah.
got some video that I'm still sort of saved and kind of editing. Excuse me, but I'm gonna end up sharing it. But it is. I remember why I liked it. I remember why I liked it, and because this is kind of a departure from the first two, I also see
Mm-hmm.
why I kind of still like the first ones better. But I can get into that as we go along. But
Yeah.
anyway, Metro Exodus is a more open world game, and I think, and I guess I could just start with that and just say that's kind of why I'm like, okay, we're doing the open
Mhm.
world thing. You know what I mean? We're going that route, and it's cool. It's a very well made open world game. It really gives me some Fallout vibes, some really good Fallout vibes, and that's
Okay.
always a good thing.
Yeah.
Because you can wander into some camps that you
Except
don't know
Fallout
about, or
76, but
some
yeah.
whatever. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Wander into some area with creatures that you're not familiar with seeing. You're constantly scrambling for ammo and stuff like that, which I don't recall this being in the first two, but there's a crafting element, which I'm like, yeah, I could have done without that, but you know what I mean?
Ah,
The crafting isn't complex, So it's like, okay, it's not that big a deal. It's almost one of those things like I see why you did it so you can check off the box, but if you really weren't gonna go all in, then
Yeah,
why you
when it's
bother?
just
Yeah, yeah.
crafting, it's like, oh, the stuff that you have grabbed from the map, just press a button.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
so that's the thing that it's like, oh, I'm not sold on that. But it is definitely a lot of fun, the gunplay itself. Uh
Mhm.
Before, another difference would be a change in the first one. You had the bullets were currency.
Right.
And it's no longer currency, or at least it hasn't opened up to become currency. So, not that you have an abundance of weapons, you're picking up ammo, every so often and stuff like that. And then you're crafting the ammo on top of that. So then you got, do I need to craft more of this particular gun? Do I need to do this? It's, again, those are elements where like, okay, I get why you're doing it.
So
It's
hilarious that you have played Metro, the Metro games, and I haven't,
none.
because Metro is Well, I've started, but like they're, and I realize they're really good. They're kind of heavy on the Eastern or Western Europe, or the
The
Eastern or West.
European
I don't even
aspect.
know.
Yeah.
The European aspect of it, it's kind of heavy on that, and like the times that I grabbed it, it's like, oh, okay, I'm not ready for this. But they're inherently
They're
PC games. They
quality
got
games. Yeah.
ported,
Yeah.
so
They
that's
they're
why
qual-
I find it funny.
yeah, they are quality. You don't have you don't have to use the mask as much here, and I won't say why. It's just, you just play the game so you kind of understand. If you know the books, then you probably already know what's going on. But it is still a part of it. I still like how you can wipe there's just these little touches. A lot of the HUD is not in the HUD. You know what I mean? It's all on the character. He has like a wristband, and it kind of tells him, okay, well, this is how much radiation is here. This is
Yeah, I do
whatever.
like that. It's
And
it's it's
everything is in
very,
front of you. You have a
yeah.
backpack now that you can actually take things out and put things together, very similar to how Joel would do it
Mhm.
in Last of Us, but then just first person, obviously, because this is a first person shooter. I do like that this is a first person shooter, but not all first person shoot. It's like the skirmishes happen, they're smaller and contained, at least so far. But it's small and contained because it's it can be overwhelming quick. You have to heal yourself.
Mhm.
You can't take that many shots. It's just most more realistic that way.
Uh-huh.
Um, and so far, yeah, man, I'm really digging it. The story's a little silly, and I'm told that it's better in well, my son said he preferred listening to it in Russian, and I'm like, well, where the
Oh,
hell's that
really?
option? Because I'm looking everywhere and I can't fucking find it, and I would have rather had that because it's I don't know, there's just something there. I guess the whatever, and then there's a character
Translation.
who I guess is with the main character, a woman, and I gotta say, a little too. I don't say clingy, but it's just one of those things. Like, really, is this every time we see each other? She just runs up and it's like, "Oh my god, Artyom, you made it, Artyom," and it's like, "What the hell? We're I don't
I
get it."
just
There's
I
some
just
little
forgot my
aspects of
keys. They're coming
yeah,
back.
yeah, there's some little aspects of the story that I'm like the major that you're following, the general, what the fuck he is. He's got that rough and gruff, like Artyom, I need you to go over here and do this. And I'm like, oh my
Exactly
god, is
like
that
that
real?
too.
I know, yeah. And I'm like, is this? It's a little much, you know what I mean? And it's like, okay, it is what it is.
This might be this the thing with translation. Honestly, I
It could
feel
be. It
like
could
a
be.
lot of
It
it
could be. And
is
like I'm saying,
that.
if I just heard it and whatever and just read its subtitles, then man, maybe I'd just be okay with it.
Yeah,
Like I did with Ghost of Tsushima. Man, I
Kojima,
love it. I read the entire game in Japanese. It was beautiful. I was like, why would I want to hear English? Fuck all that.
yeah.
And so anyway, gunplay is pretty cool. You have your normal upgrades that you would normally have that you make your weapon stronger, more silent, more bullets and stuff like that you pick up along the way. The I don't know. The gunplay is a lot of fun. It's a little different. Not like your normal first person shooter. Like I said, it has. I like to call this a slow burn because it's like it's one of those things. It's like you have lots of like if I need to go to this area over here, I have to hoof it over there. Between there and here, I
Yeah.
might run into something. I might not. I just get there and then deal what I need to deal with. but that's
Yeah.
just the way that the game is
It's
designed. And
not fucking Call of Duty where you're just shooting,
shooting gallery,
everything
yeah, you're in a
or
shooting
everything
gallery the
all
entire
the
time.
time.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you, baby. Oh, that's so sweet. I got a nice little cocktail for my wife. Woohoo.
Ooh, your third one of the evening.
Sure,
Yes,
we'll
that's
call it
why
a
I'm
third.
counting.
So, um.
Oh,
Anyway,
I assumed it because by the time that, I told you I'm getting ready, you're like, well, okay, well, I guess another cocktail it is.
yeah.
So this is the third one, unless, unless I
I
am
am not at liberty to
underestimating.
say. I'm not at liberty to state how many I have consumed, and we'll just leave it at
That's
that.
hilarious.
But no, I am enjoying it, and this has it's definitely not Elden Ring in the point where I can't wait to go back. But I am like I want to go back. I want to go back and explore more, and the audio in it is really good. The
Oh, the
visuals
audio
are
is
excellent.
excellent in these
Yeah,
games. Yeah.
the visuals are excellent. Let me tell you, bro. I'm in the water and I look down, and you know how sometimes you can tell that that water has like that, like a film of oil. I'm looking at, it, I'm
Mhm.
like, oh shit, that's fucking. It has like a film of oil. I'm like, oh shit, how did they do little things like that? It's like, man, they nailed that. And then the
Yeah.
audio effects, the sound of the bullets, the sound of the ricochet, something hitting behind you, and that's the other thing. It's like I hear it behind me, and I'm like, oh, it is that right there is kind of where it has me really hooked.
Yeah.
The what I don't like again is some of the again the open world check boxes that they had to do, but also there are moments where I feel like they're sort of, I don't say bottlenecks, but it's just it almost just like cheap kills. Like I just got here, one shotted, what did I get hit with? You know what I mean? I don't
Oh.
understand. That's frustrating. Not game breaking frustrating, but it's just like it
Mm.
doesn't happen very often. And that usually that's enough for me to say, okay, so now I'm just gonna fucking pick everybody off from the outside and work my way in.
Yeah.
But it's just something happens and I just don't know why I'm not hitting them well, or they're whatever they have, I can't be near. I can't even let them get off one shot. So it doesn't explain that. It also, there is little direction sometimes. I'm probably about 10 hours in, 10, 15 hours in. And I've already had to look up like what I need to do because I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. What is it that you need me to do? Because
You
I'm
see,
looking at,
and there and therein lies the very European aspect
yeah,
of
yeah,
these
yeah.
games.
It's like and to be fair, so to just to say what it is, because not that big, it's not really that big of a spoiler. But there's a thing I need to go and get. The mission is I need to go get this rail car, and I need to get it out of this place. So I go in, take everybody out, get the rail car, get it out. Now I got to bring it back to our base, which is another rail car on the other side. So I'm driving this thing through the what I think is a station, and I'm like, I go through this one side, I get off, it warps me into this other side. And I'm just basically going in circles, and I'm like, what do I need to
Uh,
do? Why can't I get out of here? Nothing's alerting me. There's no notice. I'm checking my pad but you have a map now, and you can like an actual map. That's the
like
other
an
thing. When
actual
you
one
bring
that
out a
you
map,
unfold.
you take it out of your backpack, and you have a map in front of you, and then you can actually turn it around, and he'll look at the back of the board, and this is your like your objectives. You know what I mean? You can turn it back around and go okay, and so
Cool.
again, not another screen, doesn't go into some menu. If I look at my map and something attacks me, I'm gonna get attacked. Because I'm looking at my map at the moment. So
But you're
that's also very
stuck. Are
cool.
you stuck looking at the map? Because that would be unrealistic.
No, you're not stuck. Let me. Yeah, you you get attacked.
If you get attacked and unless you disengage from the map, you're still getting attacked. That's kind of
Mm-mm.
ridiculous.
No. It puts the map away.
Okay.
But everything's happening while you're looking at the map. You can be attacked, and things can happen around you. So it's not like you're in a different menu again, which is also very engaging.
Yeah.
But anyway, I basically had to, and this I probably could have figured out, but I didn't see it. It's basically I needed to get out of the damn cart when I got to one of the crossroads and hit like a thing so that the tracks slid over, and now I go onto a separate track. And I was like, nothing alerted me to this that I needed to
Oh,
do this.
there's no
And I was,
glowing magic.
there's no
Oh, shit.
visual aid to tell me that this is what I needed to do. As I was passing by it, no one mentioned, hey, don't forget
Because
to
in real
switch
life, there
tracks. You know what I
isn't.
mean? Yeah, exactly. In real life, who the fuck is gonna know to do this? You know what I mean? So that is cool in itself, but definitely can lead to obviously frustrating moments. And I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm tired of going back and forth. I've been doing this for half an hour now. We're not getting anywhere. I mean, it's not like I'm getting shot up. So it's just like time being wasted, really, is what it was.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, what do I need to do? And
Yeah. Yeah.
so that was really, that's a nitpick for the most part. Knowing that now, when I run into another situation, I go, okay, let me get out, or let me really look around. And now I know I need to do that, because it's not going to give me visual aids. So
Mm.
it's just getting used to that language that the game is trying to get you to understand. But yeah, man, it is. And I like the original too.
Yeah.
First two,
Yeah, you did.
I didn't finish Last Light for some reason. Now that I think about it, I literally had to look up a recap just so I can, because I was like, I'm not going back to it now. So let me just tell me what the hell happened, so I know where we're at in the story. And and as I was looking, I was like, I remember starting this, but then it went to some other portions. Like, nope, definitely don't remember that. So I guess I never
Oh,
finished it. But the first one I did a recap as well, and I was like, yep, I remember all that. That was a good one. I remember that.
yeah.
But anyway, very cool game, Metro Exodus, available now on PlayStation Plus Extra if you are a member, and if not, then just fucking buy the game, because it's good shit.
If not,
Um,
just go to fucking Game Pass. I'm sure it's there.
maybe it's on Game Pass, right? Who never know? Could be on Game Pass. Um,
I'll be surprised if it is actually.
I
Well, actually, no. I won't
Not
be
really. I
surprised
mean,
if
it's
it is.
on. Yeah, I was gonna say it's on PlayStation. So
It should be at this time. All the games probably
yeah,
everywhere.
they come in and out. Is how I've noticed that they do things. So
Yeah. Yeah.
anyway, that's all I've been playing. I have been watching a show. This is a selection of my wife's. It's called Under the Banner of Heaven. This is a show on Hulu, which I'm realizing now we're watching more Hulu. Interesting enough.
Hulu.
I think Hulu is doing its best now to justify its existence, and it's actually giving us good stuff.
I
But
heard. Yeah, I heard that they've been pulling
yeah,
some good shit lately. Yeah.
hmm. Prey. That was probably the first thing recently that I've watched already
Yes, he was.
multiple times. And what was it, the Reservation Dogs, and a few other things we were watching. Anyway, this is another Hulu show. This one here is all levels of crazy, and it's
Mhm.
almost hard to grasp as we're watching. The series, it's supposed to be a mini series.
Uh-huh.
It's also based on a true story,
Mm.
and it's only seven episodes long. And usually, when it's that length, we kind of get through them. The Bear, we flew through that shit, because that shit was fucking great. This, I'm not saying it's not, definitely not bad. It's actually interesting, but there's just so many names and so many characters, and then it also flashbacks to like ancient times, and it's like, okay, who are we talking about here? It's just a lot going on. But once
Mhm.
somewhere in the middle, everything just clicks, and now you're just kind of in for what's going on. So what's the story? So this is based on a true story that occurred in the great state of Utah, which I have recently learned um, was the state itself was literally founded by the Mormons, and the
Mm.
Latter Day Saints is another term, or LDS, I think is what they go by
Yeah.
nowadays. And what's crazy is I didn't know about the LD. I knew of the Latter Day Saints, but I didn't know about them. I
Mm.
didn't even know they were connected to Mormons. And like I thought I knew Mormons, but through this show, I'm just like, oh, I
I
don't know
mean, you
Mormons.
watched The Expanse. Hello.
Who was a Mormon in The Expanse?
uh the group that wanted to the group whose ship they were building.
Oh,
Remember that ship
right.
that the guy?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
no. This is, yes, we saw of the Mormons. Like,
That
okay,
was the
so there's a group of
futuristic
Mormons.
version of the
Yeah,
Mormon, which
yeah.
was crazy to see. That they have this
That's
the
right. They
stellar
were Mormons.
organization. It was still like that was kind of awesome. The first time I heard that, I was like, did I heard that right? Did they say Mormon? Maybe
Mormons,
they
yeah.
meant
Yeah.
the mayor man or something like that. Nope.
Yeah, yeah. So okay, so that's one. But like I said, they don't really go into detail into their lives and what they do. And the Mormons are, for those who don't know, very old school Christian, where the man is the dominant of the house, and they have a word for what they call him as well. The women really, they're there, they can do their thing, but they really don't have much say. It is a very different thing. Now, the city that this takes place in, by the way, Andrew Garfield, which is the main character, he plays a cop. He is also a Mormon. Is in a town where 99% of the of course it's in Utah, so it makes sense. But 99% of the population are LDS, and
Mm.
it has this hints of little bit of I don't want to say corruption, but something in the background where it's like something's going on. But it all triggers off with a murder, obviously.
Oh,
And so a murder happens. It is a woman and
just like in The
a
Expanse.
like maybe 18-month-year-old baby get killed, and they are Mormons. And the suspect is also the husband, who is also a Mormon. This is something that doesn't happen in this particular type of community. This community is well known for being, a cat in the tree is probably the biggest crazy thing of the of the week or something like that. Cat got stuck in the tree. So to find this gruesome murder, it's like, whoa, shit's going down. And so th- the level of insane things that occur. Like, we've had to stop, pause, talk about it, go back and replay a little bit, and then go over it. This is a show where it's only 7 episodes, and it's taken us the entire week, and we're on the last one. We still haven't even finished
Uh-huh.
it. You know what I mean? And
Oh.
we would have burned you through this generally like in a weekend. But that's
Mhm.
just the kind of show it is, because again, there's just so much going on. It also flashes back to the history of the Mormons, where they came from, who their original creator was, what was his deal. And because again, his people were the one who came to Utah and founded Utah, and
Uh-huh.
Utah now is big on that. The university out there is BY University, which is Bingham something, which is one of the I don't know, bishops or whatever they call them. And it's just it's just insane. And it's insane because it's fucking real. It exists right now in Utah as we speak.
Insane,
It's like it's there now.
insane. Like this. Like I'm almost afraid to ask in the sense of it. Would it be spoilery to give an example of these things? The way you describe it, I mean, I'm imagining. Well, this is Mormon pain and gain.
Well,
Oh
I
wow.
mean, yeah, maybe. I mean, not with idiots, although maybe there's an idiot too. But it's what happens is that they challenge each. What's challenging for the main character is that he is a Mormon, and
Mhm.
it's difficult for him to pin down someone in his own religion. He starts to question his own religion because the husband,
Mhm.
who is currently uh like the suspect, fell out of Mormonism because of his. That's the other thing. He is the husband is a part of what would be considered the Kennedys of the Latter Day Saints.
Oh,
Like, he is a brother of that particular family, a
oh,
really well-to-do family, and he fell out of being a Mormon because he discovered stuff that he didn't like about whatever.
uh-huh.
The I don't want to say lies, but definitely what do you call it? I was gonna say bigotry, but
The
not that. Oh my god,
doctrine.
basically contrarian and stuff stuff that he found that just didn't make sense, and I don't know
Uh-huh.
why the word's not coming to me, but um, he just started questioning it and decided to just not be part of it. He still stood with his wife. His wife stood with him.
Mhm.
But then there's just this mystery in the background of his family and what happened to them. Where did they? And these are some well-known people. Like, again, the entire
Uh-huh.
city knows him, and all this stuff. Um and suddenly you discover just this disgusting side of them, and then you discover that there are fundamentalist LDS, or FLDS, if you will, which are basically like a
Basically
radical
cannibals.
like a radical group of them, not cannibals, but they're definitely old school, living in the thing.
Yeah.
They have like 30 wives. Some of them are 13, that type of fundamentalism. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
whoa, okay. And it's like, what happened there? And dude, it's just, it's interesting. It's a mystery. It's a crime mystery.
Mhm.
And I don't know. It's funny. We found it difficult to finish, to go through,
Uh-huh.
because again, we were just burned through it. but at the same time, we can't let it go because it's like I need to. I want to see what's going on.
Yeah, might as well. Just
Yeah, yeah,
you're at the tail end of it.
exactly.
Yeah.
And again,
Doesn't look like it's gonna be any type of happy ending anyway.
I
So
am.
might
I
as well.
mean, it already started with the murder itself.
The
You know what I mean?
murder,
So
yeah.
yeah. So, which that was, also in itself. It didn't show things, but you see enough to go. Oh, I can't even imagine walking into something like that. But
Yeah.
and so anyway, that's called Under the Banner of Heaven, and it really, really. I mean, obviously, I'm not trying to say anything about the Latter Day Saints. I don't know that religion or anything like that, but it does call into question, and it also kind of makes you understand sometimes why people are resistant to religion. It's like,
Right.
well, when you have so much things in their history that contradict each other and all this other stuff, and it's like, well, where'd you get that? And what this says here, this, and this doctrine says this, and before you know, you're like, yeah, you would feel like you're just making shit up as we go, basically. So, and the whole, polygamy marriages and stuff like that, which is obviously outlawed, and so yeah, it's a whole big thing. But anyway, Under the Banner of Heaven, enjoying it. I won't have a score for it until I finish
Till
it.
the end.
Yeah, but so far it's leaning at a 3. It's good.
Okay.
And yeah, yeah. So, but that's it. That's the two things that I've been doing. I haven't,
Oh
like I said, I haven't done
wow.
much. Yeah, that's it. This week has been
Dude, we just
one of those
finished
weeks.
this in under an hour and a half.
We did, and which is
Wow.
good because we have a lot more to go. But anyway, that's all we've been doing. I think so. And we are back.
We're back.
And it is time for our
Trailer of the
week.
Ah.
Yes. Trailer of the week, guys, is quite the. I don't even know what to think of this one, sir, but it is a little clearly indie title called Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey.
Blood and honey.
Yes, sorry, Bob. It's on the trailer, and so to be fair, this is
I
not
don't even know what to
the
say.
concept isn't new because we've heard that someone was creating a Winnie the Pooh slasher film, and probably 6-8 months ago. So it was a while ago that we heard about it.
Yeah.
And here we go. We have it. Director Reese Waterfield. Never heard of the guy, or maybe girl. I don't know.
Strike one.
Yeah. Strike one, indeed. Let's look up Reese Waterfield. See what do we have?
What would we have to show?
His or her history as
Winnie
a
the
director.
Pooh.
We have Go Viral, was just a short. Demonic Christmas Tree, which is actually in post-production. Fire NATO, Sky Monster, and Winnie the Pooh. Blood and Honey. There you go, guys.
I think he's gonna be making a lot of money off of Winnie the Pooh, mainly because he doesn't look like he costs that much.
Yeah, agreed. Low budget is all upon this particular one, sir.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts overall, though?
Well, the curiosity factor is the one that is gonna probably catapult this movie, right? I mean, this is not gonna be like this is not gonna be in movie theaters. Let's be real. Come on, guys.
I mean, it may be in a few theaters.
Oh, I know. That's what I'm saying. It's like, yeah.
I know it.
I don't even, it definitely, like, it's hard to mock it, believe it or not, that I'm saying this, because like, what the fuck did you expect it?
Yeah, exactly. I wasn't expecting. I wasn't expecting this. I don't know.
it wasn't gonna.
Hereditary meets Winnie the Pooh. You know what I mean? Yeah.
No. It wasn't gonna be like anything like extraordinary, crazy. Like this is the quintessential definition of a straight to video.
Yeah. Agree.
This would have been fine on a on a streaming service. Kind of like, oh yeah, it's it's October. Just drop it there. Let's see. I don't know if it's coming in October, but I'm just saying it would
If
be
it
ideal.
doesn't, it completely missed the point.
No, exactly,
Just saying.
exactly. Well, that's okay. They still have the money Christmas tree to fall onto,
True. True, yeah.
for December. I don't. It definitely looks like stupid, silly, and not the type of. Like I mean, I never care about slasher films to begin with, so it's not like it's like, oh my god. But I won't deny that the morbid curiosity is there.
Oh,
Like
for
what
sure.
the fuck did you guys did with
For
this? Like,
sure.
what is, like, how is this allowed? Like,
The
how was?
concept, well, actually, that's actually true. It's like it's apparently, let's be real. Evidently, Disney doesn't own Winnie the Pooh, because if they did,
No.
this wouldn't be a thing. So, obviously, there's probably some sort of storybook or whatever the case may be, but it has been making the rounds, and it's an interest, like we were talking about last week when we were talking about different takes, like the whole Pinocchio thing with Lies of P,
Yeah.
the whole Snow White thing with Snow White and the Huntsman. It's like
Yes.
it's still the same tale, just told differently, and there's
Mhm.
potential to have something interesting there. Like Mirror Mirror, I think was another one that did Snow White, which was more of a comedy, and I think that one actually did better than the Snow White and the Huntsman. And so
I'll believe it.
yeah, and so it's just one of those things. Like, okay, all right, well, what's that? And then the concept here looks interesting. Obviously, Christopher Robin grew up, went to live his life and be a man and get a girlfriend, or and all
Mhm.
this other stuff, and then he decided to come back, and Winnie the Pooh and them evidently shacked up with, I don't know, the some serial killer murderers from, and learned something. I don't know. I don't know.
Killer clowns from
That's the
outer
leap.
space
Yeah,
came in.
that's the leap where I'm like, okay, who are they? What made them go from the sweet Winnie the Pooh that wants
Adorable.
honey to,
Mhm.
to murderous things. So obviously, I don't think we're
Psychopath.
gonna have.
Yeah.
I have a strong suspicion we're not gonna have a reasoning behind that,
A
because
logical
yeah,
reasoning,
yeah.
perhaps.
But at the same time, it's like, okay, well, it still has the characters that, apparently this is no spoiler because we can see it in the trailer, but Eeyore's dead. Who knows what killed him? Who knows if Winnie the Pooh and Piglet killed him, for all we fucking know. And so yeah. The only reason I brought it up, for the record, is because it's been something that's been talked about for so long, and now we have finally the trailer, and I thought, well, we
Yes.
got to watch
The
this shit,
real.
right? You gotta see this, yeah. And overall, yeah,
Yeah, it's you need to know what you're getting into, and
yeah,
if with that, I mean, this could be like some dumb shit that makes that it will answer the question, what the fuck did they do with it? Yes,
yeah.
it's like, okay, this is not gonna be like, there's no stellar performance. I can, because you can look from the trailers, like no one there is a,
No, haven't heard any of
an
them.
A actor or a
Yeah.
B actor even. Um,
Most of them are
and
getting their first start. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, a lot. The premise is obviously like super super silly, but at the same time, the part of me that is a lover of alternate realities and alternate storytelling, and like
it's still interesting.
that's the part where I can't mock it, because inside of me there's something that tells me I need to see what the fuck they did with this, because I know
Yeah.
it's not good. I know I'm not gonna enjoy it, but I'm too curious.
Yeah. No, I know it. I feel the same. I feel the exact same way. Exact same way. So I guess we will see, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes,
We will see
we shall
what
see.
comes from Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Like
I feel like I
imagine,
should share this to
imagine
the podcast.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I should probably share this to the group so we can get some.
Oh, I would have
Yeah.
expected. I would have expected that to be there already. I was gonna say, imagine you be against a rapper, and that will kind of be the the kind of alternate reality.
Imagine me being against her.
Yes. That's the kind of alternate
That
reality that
is
I'm talking
hilarious,
about.
and yeah, I agree. That's
I know
the
it's the most random thing that I could come up with.
yeah. No, I mean it's true. It's true.
That's be your dream.
There was a time that I was all into that stuff. For the record, I'm not gonna lie. Not gonna lie.
Also, what
Uh,
you're saying is that yourself, as you are right now, is the alternate version of what it should have been.
uh,
I knew it. You were
yeah,
too good. You were
it's.
too good, Martin.
Well, I warned you. That's all I know is I warned you.
Yeah.
It's like things are never what
Uh,
they seem.
they never
So
want to see me. Yeah,
yeah.
it's more than meets the eye.
So yeah, so that's our trailer of the week, guys. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Hijo
And
de Pooh.
we will see what comes from that. Real quick, have a few news items. Let's first off, let's talk about, of course, the free games for September. Now that we are in September, let's go ahead and
Uh-huh.
start with September's Xbox Live games with gold titles, which have been announced. Xbox One
Ooh.
and Xbox Series X subscribers will be able to claim Gods Will Fall between September 1st through the 30th, and Double
Ooh.
Kick Heroes will be available from the 16th of September through the 15th of October. Original OG
Hmm.
Xbox game Thrillville will be available between the 1st and the 15th of September. And then in the second half, 16th through the 30th of September, Xbox 360 titles will get Portal 2, which is
Oh,
clearly
two.
the
Yes.
front of the line of everything I've seen here. I don't
Yeah,
know if Gods will fall.
this is the highlight. This is the
Yeah.
only. But if you haven't played Portal 2, now, like, why are you even listening to the podcast?
Clearly, you don't have no idea what we're here to talk about.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is definitely the highlight of that lineup. And I think you and I can definitely say highly recommend it if you haven't played it. Uh,
If this
don't
game is
waste
not
no
on the
time.
list that we're about to talk about on the topic, then I don't even want to do the topic.
I kind of have to agree. Kind of have to agree. Um, and of course, let's move over to Sony. Now, Sony has, according to this article here from Video Games Chronicle, announced everything they're doing for September for the essential, for the extra, and for the premium game tiers. So, for the
Oh.
essential, this of course is coming to anybody who already has the regular service. They will be receiving Need for Speed Heat, the PlayStation 4 title, Grand Blue
Mhm.
Fantasy Versus, also the PlayStation 4 title, and Toem, which is a PlayStation 5 version. These games will be available from the 6th of September to the 3rd of October.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of that lineup there, sir?
I think I can see what the way the sun is gonna start trying to get us to jump to the next tier is by no longer offering the quality on. I mean, it's too early to tell,
Well, Grand Blue
but it seems
Fantasy
like
is
it's
not a
going
yeah.
that way.
It's a very niche game, Grand Blue Fantasy, but it's not a budget title, is it? I don't know.
Mm,
Mm,
Need for Speed Heat, huh?
yeah, yeah, Need for Speed. There you go. So for the ones who have the extra package, you will get Deathloop for PlayStation 5, Assassin's Creed
See?
Origins for PlayStation 4, Watch Dogs 2, which I am now like, ooh, okay, that's a game that I may jump into. Dragon Ball Xenoverse, and jump out pretty quick for the record. Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 for PlayStation 4, Spiritfarer Farewell Edition. Highly recommend that one, me personally. Chicory, A Colorful Tale, which apparently was on a lot of Game of the Years, the game that came out. Monster
Mm.
Energy Supercross, Alex Kidd in Miracle World, Rabbids Invasion, Rayman Legends, another excellent game, although much older. And finally, Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Yeah, Ubisoft.
The game, the complete edition, which I actually ended up purchasing probably a few months ago. Probably should have waited. Finally, the premium package will receive some classics. The Sly Collection, Sly Cooper Thieves in Time, Bentley's Hat Pack. So it's basically a Sly Sly. I don't know. Sly. It's everything about Sly. Toy Story 3 and Kingdoms of Paradise. So anyway, those are
All
the
right.
games that come into premium. Premium, I feel, is the so far has not earned it. If I can reduce it back down to extra,
Unless you like,
I probably would.
yeah, unless you like, unless you care
Especially
about
like the
backwards compatibility,
correct, yeah, yeah.
and
Which I'm realizing now that I really don't, because it's
what do you got? I mean, there's only so many times. There's only so many. Yeah. Anyway,
yeah.
the yeah. But as you can see, the the games that are being released on extra seems to be like the top. They seem to mimic the type of quality. I mean, not all of them. Not all five of them. However many mention, yeah,
There's
many
about 10
you
or 11,
mentioned,
yeah.
but at least a couple of them. Like I would have expected, like,
Deathloop?
oh hell yeah,
Deathloop was from
Deathloop on
last year.
it.
Yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
would have been like an incredible essential. But essential is no longer going to be about. And again, this might be too early for me to be saying that it's gonna be like this, but this is how I feel like things are gonna go. Where essentials, you're just gonna get bottom of the barrel, games, kind of like maybe not as bad as Xbox, because who the fuck does it worse than Xbox at this point?
Wow.
Well, I mean, when it comes to the games with Go, let's be real.
Yeah, yeah.
You get shit.
Yeah. So
The Xbox strength is Game Pass.
Mhm.
That's all.
Which is what's happening here. It's like, we want you to come
Exactly. This
to
is actually what they seem to be leaning towards. It's like, oh well, hey, Game Pass is. They've been doing very well with Game Pass, and that seems to be part of the formula. Just give the shitty shit to the essential plebes, and then let them have cake. And then the people that we actually care about, which are those that are paying us a little extra, hint, hint, those ones are gonna get the good games.
the good game.
And
Yeah, the GGs.
Yeah, exactly. And at that point, and then the Supreme or whatever the hell is called, the rest, that's for the crazies. That's for the
yeah.
I mean, not the crazy. I would say more of that's for the real fans. The ones that care about like the old school PlayStation titles and
no, I think
the
you
history.
hit. I think you hit the nail on the head the first time. The crazies, such as myself. So the Sly Cooper collection and Sly Cooper Thieves in Time, those are PlayStation 3 games. So those are only via streaming, which is
those are still streaming. Exactly. I don't think you're gonna
re-up, bro.
I don't see you re-upping at this level. I think the next time, next time is gonna be extra for you.
If anything, I can probably try to get out of it now, so that it just automatically updates at the other one. But yeah. So far it has not. The game trials kind of cool, but like I said, they're timed.
Oh, that's right.
And the way that the clock works on some of these, probably not the best. But
it's nice. It's nice to get. I mean, 5 hours of. If I would have played 5 hours of Horizon, I would have. I would have stuck a different tool.
Just to try it out, I was gonna do that, and I was worried that in my weakened state, I would succumb and buy the game.
To go and get hit, and
I didn't do it. Yeah, I didn't do it.
You could, yeah.
So, but anyway. Those are the free games. One quick other mention here I wanted to bring up, sir. I wanted your opinion on this because it's massive, sort of, maybe. Who knows? Could be nothing, right? Sony.
You got it really big and yet you manage it to literally nothing.
I know. That's how I do, man. I play both sides of the field.
This news is a megaton. It's a 10. It's a 9. It's probably a 7. Actually, it's like a 5. So I'm not going to mention because it's not worth
even on the chart. Let's be real. I just lost it. Sony and Tencent now own, combined between the two of them, 30% of Elden Ring Studio From Software. In an official notice published by From Software's parent company, Kodokawa, it was announced that new shares were issued to Six Joy Hong Kong, a subsidiary of Tencent, and Sony Interactive Entertainment According to the document, once the shares have been issued, 6 will now own 16%, 16.25 exactly, and Sony will own 14.09. It's an interesting number. And of course, Kodakawa will continue owning the remaining 69.66%. In the notice, Kodakawa says essentially they recognize the enhancement in capabilities for creation, development, and it's a lot of spiel. But realistically, here, this kind of helps fund the potential of From Software publishing their own games. They already publish their own games in Japan, but they don't publish it outside. Obviously, there's more money involved with that, and so they turn to other folks. Like for instance,
Yeah, Namco
Sekiro was,
Bandai.
Bandai Namco is
Activision.
their number one. Sekiro was Activision, and
Yeah.
so maybe they don't have to turn to any of these folks and be able to do it themselves. So I think it's an
Yeah.
interesting move. I don't know how I feel. I mean, I don't know if anybody owning them, but I understand the need for capital. I don't know how I feel about Tencent being a part of it. You know, being the whole communist country and all. But anyway, what do you think, sir, when it comes to this
I,
particular move?
well, at first, I did what everybody did at first, which was just like, oh my God, Sony's buying from this is incredible. Like, holy shit.
That's
And
hilarious.
then I had to take a stab at reality and realize like, oh no, wait a minute. The thing said Tencent also.
Yeah.
And they're buying, obviously they're buying a stake in it, which could indicate that at the end of it, I mean, when it's time to make moves towards acquired, I can imagine that Sony will be in a better position than anybody else, of the players, right?
I would think so.
But in the state that it is right now, it fucking means absolutely nothing. That's why when you mention, you know, when I made the joke of this is an incredible piece of this, a megaton. It's actually a 9. No, it's actually a 10. It's like, no, actually, it's not worth it.
It's like a 3. In the
It's
end,
like
it's like
a
a
3.
3.
It's because that's kind of like the phase where it went when I saw the news the first time. It definitely does. And I'm not a fucking analyst, so this might be me BSing, but I personally think that it does position Sony better strategically for a future acquiring
Acquisition. Yeah.
acquisition if they were
It also,
to
it also
do
presents
that.
Tencent for that as well. So you never know.
But exactly, it also puts Tencent, which is like the fucking last thing that we want to do. We want to see. So
Exactly.
let's not be celebrating here or anything, because at the end of the day,
Exactly.
this is just, hey, this parent company is looking for capitals, and these two fools were willing to go in it, and that it works to the advantage, because now they have they can have they can have potential of being able to publish their own game, which at the end of the day, it might be their end game, like all they want to do. Like they don't want to
Which
be
makes sense.
they could be just independent and just publish and be like
Mhm.
their own thing. And yeah,
Yeah, it makes perfect sense, which I get behind. Sometimes you need to make strange bedfellows in order to get to that point.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so that's an interesting one. More to come, I guess, on that. We'll see. But the last piece I have here, sir, is I gotta ask you because I'm not in the know, but 343
Mm.
Industries has confirmed a new round of Halo Infinite content delays. Uh,
Oh yes.
yeah, campaign co-op, the Forge beta, and season 3, the entire season, has been pushed back. The studio confirmed in a development update video and new content roadmap, both of which are viewable online anywhere you want to look up. So, campaign co-op, which was previously targeted for August, will now arrive in November. So too will the Forge beta, which was previously scheduled to arrive in September. And the game's third season of content, Echoes Within, has been delayed all the way out to March 2023. The split
Mm.
screen couch co-op multiplayer, which has been previously announced, has officially been canceled. 343 allocating, stating there, allocating resources in order to improve and accelerate ongoing live service development and to better address player feedback and quality of life updates. I'm going to stop reading from here and just really go with, is it just me or is this not the issue with unprepared studios trying to go into a live service game?
Right. I feel like 343 is not a fucking indie studio. All right, they're backed up by a behemoth. The fact that this is happening, uh, first of all, let's start with the loss of couch co-op. Uh, when they had to, I saw that when they had to do the same for Halo 5, they promised that from next, Halo game forward, all the games were gonna continue keeping couch co-op, which has been a staple of Halo. Uh, I I don't care about couch co-op myself. I don't have a buddy to play Halo with me, and also that's not the experience I want, because I don't want a divide a 4x3 60x9 screen between two weird, like I never understood the appeal of that. But there are people that love it and think it's very fun, and to me it's not a great loss. But I saw the forums of Reset Era and NeoGAF, and like people are up in arms by the fact that they're losing couch
Yeah.
co-op.
I mean, it's
But
something that, well, as you mentioned, it was a promise saying we're not going to ever, we're going to continue to do that, and here we are again being let down.
mm,
And what's the excuse? The excuse is, well, we need to focus on. I said, well, maybe not make it a live service. Maybe just focus on making it the game that you were trying to make. You know what I mean? Instead of going that route.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
The problem with live service games is always going to be content. That's the issue with them. The gamer consumes content at 100 times faster than, maybe more than it can be created. You know what I mean? So you got to have already a lot of content out and then have that ready to go. And then just because you have it out, you can't just sit back and go, all right, we have all that stuff out. It's like, no, now you got to work on the next thing. You got to get that
Yeah.
started. As a matter of fact, you should have already had that in plan production before you release the game. Because it's just, it is a time sink. It is a money sink. It's not easy. I get the reason why, because when you hit, man, you have a game that will fund everything. It's the
That's
reason
Destiny
why
2.
Bungie is so powerful in everything
Destiny
that it's
2.
ever done. You know what I mean? And it's just, it's because they figured out, how to do this correctly. One of the plays, right? Because they're not the only ones, but just
Yeah.
an example of
Also, they've had their stumbles and their big mistakes, like erasing entire content you have purchased
yeah. Yeah.
above a live service, which is the kind of like, no, you don't fucking do that. And they say, oh, we're never gonna do that again already.
Yeah.
But then again, like I feel like
But I think they're figuring
promises
out.
from yeah.
No, I was gonna say, just to comment on it. I feel like they're trying to figure out how we can segment that so you can download it as you need it, but not
Mm,
all. You know what I mean? It's like, instead of having to download 400 gigs of data and you're only going to be
mm,
using half of that, maybe less. It's like, okay, maybe we can segment this out, because I understand people want this, but you know what I mean? It's like, how do we
right.
do this correctly? So I feel like they're trying to figure it out. Maybe don't have it down packed just yet, but that was a step in the direction. And I remember, if I remember correctly, they removed it. It's like, well, we don't see anybody using this. So it's like, well, why have it there? You know what I mean? If it's such a small.
Because I
uh,
bought it.
no,
Because I
I
purchased
get it. True,
it. Yeah.
true, true that, true that.
And I might want to, like, one of the reasons I don't go into like Destiny right now is like, well, I'm going to start in the middle of the campaign basically, because what about all the story that I'm that I
That you've
miss?
missed.
And
Mm-hmm.
right, but then again, that's not the reason why people play
Yeah,
Destiny.
it's
Let's
not.
be real. So
And that's not
they know
that's not
that
for you.
also. So
Yeah,
that's probably the reason why they decided, it's not a big deal. People are
exactly.
not here for the lore, even though so far they've been
Some
doing
are.
phenomenally
Yeah.
with it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But yeah. So I just wanted to get your thoughts on that, because I mean, that's a blow to Halo. I mean, I think they came out strong, Halo Infinite, when it came out, when they released the
Yeah, that
multiplayer. It
was the
was
darling of
free
last
and everything.
year.
Yeah, yeah. And
And
it was
then,
free and everything. And then since then it's just been stumbling along the way.
yeah.
Um and I wanted to get your opinion because I don't play Halo, but I feel like anyone who does will probably want to hear the opinion of a Halo player. But
Yeah.
it looks like they're still stumbling, and like I said, the more things like that happen, the potential of losing audience ends up growing. And once you lose them, it's really hard to get them back because, man, they just get attached to something else, you know. And
Hmm.
and I didn't, I never would, as a Sony, I don't know, say I'm not a fanboy, but as someone who basically lives and plays in that ecosystem, I respect Halo for what it is, and the powerhouse that it is, and the attention that it grabs. And I would never have wanted that for that. Like when they came out with Halo Infinite, and it was, that buzz at the beginning, I was like, nice, good job, fucking Microsoft. Bring, as much as we used to say, oh, all they do is Halo, Gears, and fucking Forza.
Of
I was
course.
like, well, yeah, but at least they nailed this one. That's what they needed to do, and they did it in the right way. Uh, and so I was hoping that this would, really pan out for them. But
Yeah, I don't know what the like 343 it's just not prepared.
yeah,
They're
for a
they're
live
they're,
service, it could
they're
be.
not
They
prepared
weren't.
for
Yeah,
a live service. Yeah.
it could be.
And yeah, that's they've live services, as we discussed many times already. It lives and dies by its content, and
Exactly.
if when the world dries up, then
Yeah,
no
you're
matter
done.
what you do,
That's it.
people are not gonna come back.
Exactly. You're done. All right, so that takes care of all the news items. So now, ladies and gentlemen, dear Lord, it has taken so long for us to get to this. The
You're so
best
excited.
game of all time. I'm excited because I put this together, and it's just one of those things when you create something, you just get excited. Like,
It's your baby.
yeah, yeah.
Plus, it's also we're talking about the best
The best game of
game
all time,
of
right?
all time.
Exactly. Yeah.
Every podcast that we come and do from now on, we have to acknowledge the fact that no, but remember when we said that
Yeah, I
these
know.
are the best
I
games of
know.
all time.
And you
And
know what? I'm going to share this spreadsheet that I've created with
yes,
all members who have entered
in
their
case there's any
selections.
doubts,
Correct. Yes, exactly. And you can adjust it as you want. It is your list. The master list, however, is not to be touched. That we can come back later to adjust as we need, but your list is your list, so you can do whatever you want with it. So once again,
I don't have to worry because the master list is probably the one that's gonna be the most wrong.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like you may. Well, we'll see.
We'll
We'll
see.
see. We'll see. So again, rules. Basically, there's 5 of us. Each of us gave our top 10. So we have order from the number 1 game to the number 10 game. Number 1 being the best, obviously. That number 1 game gets a point value of 10 all the way down. Your second game gets 9 all the way down to 1, right? So your 10th game on the list only gets a value of 1 point. And then, of course, we combine the lists. And so now we have the ultimate list based on points.
Mhm.
And also, there's another thing I need to throw in here. If the game appears on more than one list, there's an additional 10 points awarded to said game, regardless of what the value of that particular game has at that time. So, yeah. So, questions, sir, before I get into this.
The games are all gonna be Sony games, and and
I'm glad you think this.
there's
I really
no
am.
gonna be any love for any PC title that is even if it's a
Well, keep in mind
seminal title.
keep in mind
But
who is within this group, sir. I mean,
exactly,
let's
that's
be
what I'm
real.
saying.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I'm
Let's be
saying.
real. Yeah.
That's
But
the
but it also,
concern.
keep in mind where you put it on the list will move it up, right? Because I said if you put it on your list as ninth place, for instance,
Yeah.
or not ninth place, I'm sorry, you're second overall, right?
Mhm.
Well, that's 9 points. So
Right.
if somebody else puts a game that also is very very specific to that person, but they have it lower on the list at a 5,
Mhm.
well, they're only going to get 5 points. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's
Right.
gonna be, you'll see. I think
It's
you're gonna
fantasy
enjoy this.
football
It is
again.
fantasy football. It
I
is
can
fantasy football.
read all the bullshit. You're trying to do the fantasy league
Hey,
here.
that's how we and it's gonna work. I swear it's gonna work. All right. So obviously, because there's going to be a lot of single games, there's going to be in the beginning there's going to be several ties. So we have, again, I mentioned there are 50 because we put 50 selections in. There's 50, I had 10, you had 10, there's 5 of us, 10, 50, right? But there are some repeats, so technically there's 38 games total. But based on the point value, there are only 19 places, from 19th place all the way down to first place. So obviously you're going to have some ties. So let's start from the top.
All right.
Are you ready, sir?
Or the bottom,
We
or
have
whichever is the lowest.
Total 5 games tied for 19th place. These games sat literally as our number. All of us had a different number 10 on our list. So all of them tie for essentially accumulating 1 point. So we're going to start. We've got Resident Evil 1 Remake. We've got Tomb Raider 2, the original Tomb Raider 2, which is PlayStation 1, Skyrim, Street Fighter 2, and Final Fantasy 7 Remake. So there you go. So that's number 10. Let's start with Resident Evil 1 Remake.
Yeah, let's make this fun. This is a tie, right?
These are all tied. These are all tied. You're literally all tied. Yeah.
Let's break it right now. Let's go ahead and break it right now. You and I.
Okay, let's do it. Within this list. Okay, let's do it.
Within this list. All right. Say the names again.
We got Resident Evil 1 Remake. We have Final Fantasy 7 Remake. We have Tomb Raider 2, the OG. We've got Skyrim. And finally, we have Street Fighter 2.
Okay. Right.
First off, can you guess? I'm sure you know what yours, because you had your own list.
Yeah.
Can you guess anybody else's here?
Let me see. Sparrows is Tomb Raider.
Nice. Okay.
Did I get it?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's Sparrows. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I mean, I
feel
like he will,
10 for the record.
He will have the refined palate to add something, something like this, because back in the day those games were. All right. Anyway,
legit. Yeah.
Street Fighter to me sounds like a dark joint.
It is not, sir. That is mine.
Ooh. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, it would have been yours also. Yeah, that's true.
Street Fighter 2, right? That's a whole.
Street Fighter. Yeah. Okay, so Dark is Resident Evil remake.
There you go.
Why the fuck would you make it a remake? Only Dark has that mindset of, yes, I recognize this game was legendary because of what they did to the thing, and it probably should be on a list of all games of all time. Meaning, I'm the youngest of the group, so I probably haven't lived all time. So that's why I'm adding this. So I get you, millennial. Oh, not millennial. I get you, Xer or that. Sorry, whatever the generation is after millennials.
Wow, that's hilarious.
All right. So, and then Skyrim, I feel like that's a chaos joint.
That is. Well, I mean, at this point, you know what your number 10 is, so that's all that's left, basically.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I guess. Yes. I guess I should have actually made it. That would have been more impressive. Anyway. So right off the bat, this list is Skyrim first, Street Fighter 2 second.
Skyrim first, Street Fighter 2 second. Okay.
What am I missing? Besides Resident Evil?
I send you a screenshot to your Messenger so you can see.
Oh, okay. Let me see. All right. Skyrim first, Street Fighter 2 second, Tomb Raider third, Final Fantasy 7 Remake fourth, and Resident Evil 1 Remake fifth. I did it. I win.
So Final Fantasy is fourth, and
Yeah, mine
Resident
is
Evil.
4 because there's some heavy hitters over here. Let's be real.
I mean, true, and you have the remake, and that's very important. You
Right.
said remake, so it's
I
like
said
that's
remake.
a
Yes.
specific one, yeah.
Yes.
And so
I
okay,
didn't
so
put
you have it
5.
as
I didn't put 7 original, even though 7 original, it's an amazing experience. But I mean, I had a top 10 list that I had to make, and sadly, it didn't
it
meet.
didn't make it
It
through.
didn't make it to the
Okay.
top 10. Yeah.
I think I can agree. The only problem is I never played Skyrim, and my
But you gotta
only
recognize, bro, that game's
I
still
mean,
being
sure,
released.
but I recall PlayStation 3 version being absolute crap, and they
And
fucking
in
couldn't figure that shit
spite
out.
of that,
So whatever,
it's still a
whatever.
behemoth. So
Uh,
I think you gotta recognize.
I will recognize as, and I'm not going to list. I'm not going to. I've numbered your numbers that you just gave me here. I guess I should do the same to
Well,
this guy.
put numbers. Come
Let me
on,
put, yeah.
we want to know.
I'm
We
going to
want to know
put
your numbers.
when it comes to. So we have two remakes, and no offense, they're going to be last, just the way you put them, because like they're remakes of the original special thing.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm going to put Street Fighter 2, bro. Street Fighter 2 was a wave that happened at that time.
I
It
wouldn't be
led
opposed to that.
it led to all the fighting game craze that we still have today. Evo exists because that Street Fighter game occurred.
Well, that was Street Fighter 3, but yeah, I
Yeah, but I
wouldn't
mean,
be opposed to
it's
that. I
extended from.
wouldn't be opposed to that.
From there, I would probably say
You better say Skyrim because it's the only.
I'm gonna fucking say Skyrim. God damn it. All right, so Skyrim from there. I will. I mean, I had never played it, but I understand, that since the PlayStation 3 debacle version of it, yes, it has obviously better versions, and it is what it is when it comes to that. From there, I got to give it to Tomb Raider 2, obviously, because that's a special game of its time.
That's the seminal title.
From there, though, I will give it to before Resident Evil 1 remake. I will give it a Final Fantasy 7 remake because
which is what
the
I did.
reality is that game was. I just didn't. Maybe it's just expectations. I just didn't expect it to be anywhere near as good as it was. While I wasn't all on board with the decisions they made, I got it. I understand what they're doing, and it does give it a little bit of refresh on the story. So respect to that. And then Resident Evil 1 remake, obviously, we'll put that as a.
Well, I feel like we agreed on the list except with the 1 and 2 position. And to be honest with you, I'm kind of warmer towards your choice than mine.
Okay.
So I think your choice should be yeah. I think I want to switch because I do also believe that Skyrim was and it still is an incredible feat in spite of the PlayStation 3 being as BS as it was. But you're right, absolutely right about Street Fighter 2 being a movement, and that cannot be ignored. So
the arcades were booming when the championship.
I risked chickenpox to play that game on Super Nintendo. All right, and I was a kid. I didn't care. I could have died. I did not care. I risked my life to play that game. So yeah. Why? Yeah. What was I thinking? You're absolutely right, Mad Dog. As you always tend to be. So
no. Stop it. All right. So the next place number 18 is a 3-way tie as opposed to 5.
Ooh,
and we have 3 games. We have Mass Effect 2. I'm going to send them to you right here, by the way. Mass Effect 2. We have Super Mario Brothers 3, and we have Nier Automata.
Whoa, you guys are hitting me here. Fuck.
Yes. 18th place. 3-way tie. Now, this is on our list. This would have been our number 9 for, can you guess the Super Mario Brothers 3 and Mass Effect 2? I know you know Nier Automata because that was all you, brother.
I guess Nier Automata. Which when I put it on my list, I knew it was like, this is gonna be so telltale.
All you, yeah. It's okay, but it has a place. That's the important part. It has a place in the list.
It has a place in my heart. However, no, for the life of me, okay. So Mario Bros. 3, again, I feel like whoever brought Super Mario 3 probably has a gaming monocle in his eye, and he's very refined taste. So that's got to be Sparrow. And
No, sir,
then
that was me. Well, go ahead.
that was you.
Yeah, it was me. Technically,
Oh,
technically, he did include that, but it was number 11, and I cut it off at 10. So yeah.
Okay. So I was
So
I
respect
should
to
have.
wait for the record. Respect to Sparrow's selection. He did make that selection as his number 11th because he had,
Yeah.
he had a list of 11, even though there was supposed to be 10.
Oh, that's okay. You saw my list. I gave you 15.
Oh, I see. Again,
I gave
cut
you
him off.
10, and then I
Yeah,
put 5 more because I was like, I know these are not gonna count, but I need to mention them. I can't just leave them out.
he did the same. He did the same.
Yeah. Good. All
So
right.
Mass Effect 2.
Mass Effect 2, that sounds like a Gilberto's choice.
There you
That's
go. That
chaotic
is
as it
Mr.
can be.
Chaos number 9 on his top
And
10.
a fantabulous selection at that. I should have done that also because Mass Effect 2 is the only Mass Effect that I played multiple times.
Ditto. Ditto.
It's
You're not
fantastic.
kidding. That ditto, yeah.
It's phenomenal. And then Nier Automata, of course, he was a clown who put that in there. So this list
Clown.
is definitely Super Mario Brothers 3, Mass Effect 2, Nier Automata.
So Mario Brothers 1, Mass
Mhm.
Effect 2 is
2, and Nier Automata 3.
and then Nier Automata 3.
No doubt. Without a sliver of a doubt in my mind.
And you're absolutely right. I have no disagreement. I mean, not that you're absolutely right. That's a great opinion, and I agree with said opinion. So there you go. There you go. All right. Moving on into our 17th place. We have a 4-way tie again here.
Ooh, I like these ties because they give us something to chew.
Yeah, it's a
before the main
course.
course.
Before we get to the part where it's like, nope, that's the one. There's no movement. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be like,
We have a
no, that's so
4-way tie.
wrong. Before friendships get destroyed, let's go ahead and have
Exactly.
our last supper together.
Here we go. So we have. Oh, by the way, each of these scored 3 points, and they're sitting in 17th place. And there are obviously no repeats. Persona 3, Titanfall 2, Bloodborne, and Halo 2.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
This put the list. I like it when you put them.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought
if it's more than 3, I need to see them because if it's 3, I don't need to, because I can.
I meant to I hold on to it before I hit send. Like I want to say it, and then I just forgot that I hit send.
Okay, good. All right, so.
Difficult, isn't it? We're at 17th place.
No? I got this, bro.
Okay.
You know what? I wish you were still putting them in order. Like you still. I'm hoping that you're still making the list, even because the list ended up having how many?
How many games total? 38. Yeah. 38 games.
38. Okay, so that we can have our top 38. That'll be nice.
I have it.
Oh, you're writing it down. You're putting even the ties.
Yeah. Even the tie. Yeah, I'll send you the whole thing when we're done.
No, but the ties are the ties now in the order that we're making them.
I'm doing that on the side. I have to do that
on the side. Okay. Because I feel like that should speak for itself. Yeah.
Agree.
All right. Although actually, now that I think about it, that might bring complications because Mario Brothers 3 being so low against like Persona and Titanfall, like come on, guys, let's be real.
It is.
It's probably not a good idea to do that. Actually, I take it back. It's probably not a good idea to do that. It makes no sense. Just like the rest of this list.
Exactly, because none of this makes sense.
This list is Persona 3, Bloodborne, Halo 2, Titanfall 2.
Bloodborne.
Actually, that's not even right. That's not even right. I apologize. Let me do that. Repeat that again because I fucked that up like majorly. This list is Persona 3. Persona 3. Fuck, this list is hard. Okay, you're right. This is fun. This list is Persona 3, Halo 2, Titanfall 2, Bloodborne. There you go. That's
Titanfall 2. Yeah, I was gonna say that seems more like
right. I don't know why I was thinking. Because I mean, Bloodborne. it's a great game, but also Sony has fucking abandoned the shit.
I
So
know, my God. Yeah, yeah.
it's like,
So only because there's a little bit of a lack of playing here,
mhm,
I would definitely go Bloodborne first because I did love the Bloodborne when I was playing it. Titanfall 2 second, because I did play that into completion, and I respect that as being a great game. Persona 3 I never played. Halo 2 never played. So those are I don't even want to to rank them because it just wouldn't make sense to because I don't know. But if I had to pick,
and
if I
you
had
have
to,
to,
I'm going to
and
highlight this as
you
a
have to.
if I had to, I would obviously go Halo 3 third
Mhm.
and Persona 3 fourth. Just to say because I understand how amazing Persona 3 is, but Halo 2 was again a movement. It
Yeah,
was the LAN parties. It was,
yeah.
and all that stuff. It's like I
That was the
cannot
popular
ignore
choice.
that.
Let's go. Let's
Yeah.
let's be
Yeah,
real.
yeah, yeah.
It was the popular choice. However,
Exactly.
sir, I'm gonna recommend that as soon as this remix get done, and I get it. This remakes are, they're gonna be the graph like things are gonna feel like they don't hold up. Stick to it. It is an experience. Like,
Oh, the Persona. Okay, gotcha.
yeah, because
Okay.
they're making the remake,
The
and
remakes. Yep.
it's not gonna be the same because it's like a remake of the PSP. So it's kind of like, oh man, and also the game probably, let's be real, probably is not gonna age as well as,
Of course. I mean, but
it's
that's
just,
okay. I mean, the problem with those early 3D games is that, you know what I mean?
is
They're
that,
early
yeah,
3D
yeah,
games.
yeah, yeah. But
They're
we still
the
have to recognize them because
yeah,
it's of
for
all
sure.
time. So for its
Correct.
time, that
Correct.
shit, it was
Yeah.
legendary, and
Correct. And
it's
let's be real,
one of my favorite RPGs of all time.
the reason
So,
why it doesn't age well, and there's this weird thing between pixel art games to fully realized 3D games,
all right,
which
yeah,
really didn't start until PlayStation 3. So you have that little middle point where it's almost like puberty, and you're like,
it's like
oh, it's all about the
purity.
the zits and all that stuff. It's like, oh, it's developing. You know what I mean?
That would be
And
the
so
Nintendo 64, sir.
true, very true, very true. So really quick, real quick. Shout out to Titanfall 2 here because that
Oh,
is
wow.
a game that just missed so many people. It would probably be on more lists if more people play that game.
That's
And
one
it
of the
was
biggest
you who told
crimes
me
of
about that game.
gaming.
And
Yeah.
I got it and I was like, wow, this is a really well made first person shooter with titans. You know what I mean? It's like
Yes.
it's really, really, really well done. And then Bloodborne, of course. I mean, that's just. I mean, Sony, come on, man, get your shit together. Get that shit out
It's
of here
it's
already.
it's time to get that. There's people that have mod or somehow, or
Oh
I
yeah,
saw it in the Foundry, that
hmm
60 frames per second version of it. It's like it's
it's
possible if
possible.
you
They
have
just
a
need to.
modded PS4.
They just need to do it. They just need to do it. All right, moving on. 16th place, we have a three-way tie.
Ooh.
We have Gears of War 2,
Mm.
Sekiro, and the OG Last of Us. That, my friends, is
Wow.
the three there,
That's
sir.
was down there, huh?
Oh, it is. I mean, first off, can you guess who had what?
That's you. That Last of Us is super you.
Oh, real quick, real quick. Let's go back
Sec-
to the last one. I don't think you guessed that because I want to make sure we give props to the list.
uh,
The Persona 3, Titanfall 2, Bloodborne, and Halo 2. Who do you think had what?
so I had all three: Persona 3, Titanfall 2, and Halo 2, and Chaos probably have Bloodborne in there.
What are you talking about, man? You didn't have any of them. So no,
What?
the
I have Persona 3 for
you have
sure.
Persona
No
3.
one else had Persona 3.
You have Persona 3.
Yeah.
Titanfall 2 sat on Chaos list. That was his eighth place
Chaos.
on his list.
Thank you.
And
I appreciate this
respect.
support because I put
Yeah,
it
I
there
agree. Yeah.
also.
Bloodborne was on obviously Sparrow Wolf's list. That was his eighth
Oh,
place.
that's right. That would have been his.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then finally Dark had Halo 2 on his list as his eighth place
Massive
overall.
respect because
Yeah.
I've had it. I had it on my list. Good choices, guys. Good choices, all of y'all.
All around. Yeah, all around.
Yeah.
All right. So
Except for you, you
the
didn't
next
make any of them.
nope. No, I didn't.
But the next one, though.
I'll throw it out there. What do you think? What do you think I had, and what do you think everybody else had?
I mean, you're Last of Us because, of
Yeah,
course, you
it's a little
are.
too fucking obvious, right?
Uh, who the fuck is Sekiro? That's probably Sparrow. I
That is
don't
correct.
agree with that, but I will give it to him.
That is his 7th overall.
Yes, yeah. Oh yeah, then that sounds like the right spot. And Gears of War 2, I was taken aback by that great game. I just didn't expect it to. I didn't expect to see it on the list.
Mhm. Somebody
Um,
thought so.
would that somebody have been Sparrow?
No, he already had a 7th
Oh,
place.
it's one out. Okay, so then it's,
Mine, yeah.
then it's because it's not gonna be you. It's not gonna be Dark.
It is actually dark, my friend. Yeah,
Oh
it is
my
actually dark.
OMG,
It
Dark,
is number 7 on Dark's
Dark,
list.
Dark. I am. I'm doing the we're not worthy to you, sir. Mad props and mad respects for that. Even though it's kind of weird that you didn't select 3, but whatever.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so are you ordering these?
No, I'm not ordering them because we're not using them for an order. Because
Oh, I
Super
just wanted
Mario
to see
Bros.
what you thought. Okay, that's fine. It's fine. We can skip this. And
Oh, I'm sorry. I see what you mean. Okay, yes. Sorry. I thought you were asking me like if I was putting on a spreadsheet. Oh yeah, no. I mean, fuck. Last of Us first.
Yep.
Gears of War second, Sekiro third.
Yeah, I just looking at it, I was like, yeah, that's probably going over. I will mirror that first selection, but I will go Sekiro second, and I'll go Gears of War 2 third.
I just
And
feel like Gears of War had a more than Sekiro did when it came out. Both fantastic games. And Sekiro is a great game. Don't get me wrong. It did not get me because I'm not into like super parry games, but I recognize that is a freaking phenomenal title. So I'm not shitting on it.
no, I got you.
I just say it feels like it feels like Gear at its heyday have more
So
staying power, but
that
yeah.
was everything tied for 16th place. Each of these games got 4 points total. The next game, yes, game. Only one game finished in 15th place, scoring 5 points.
I'll be easy to order then.
Yeah, I already put ones next to it.
Cheater.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, sir.
Yeah, that needed to be mentioned. I'm glad someone did. I wasn't gonna put it on my list, but I'm very glad someone gave it the respect it deserves. That's Modern Warfare, right?
Yeah, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
Modern Warfare 2. Oh, fuck yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Even a non-COD head like me will recognize how incredible. I'll be honest with you. I'll probably get this Call of Duty. Just to see, just for the single player.
Yeah.
Because that single player was, dude, freaking phenomenal. If you ever wonder where did Titanfall 2 had such an amazing origins, then yeah, here it is.
There it is. Modern Warfare 2. How about that? Can you guess who had that on their list?
Was it Dark?
It was Dark. Yes, that was his number 6th place, earning 5 points by itself.
Good job, Dog. Good job. I'm so proud of you, son. My son.
All right, so we're moving on.
Later down the list, we're gonna be. You were supposed to be the chosen one.
I don't know. I feel like so far we're about the not the middle point, but close to the middle point. How you feeling so far? Does it make sense?
I kind of want to leave it here, and now I can do because so far I got the good feelings, and I'm afraid that the lower we go, the darker it's gonna become, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I'm up to it.
Yeah, you're like I don't know.
Yeah, sometimes. I like the happy feelings.
True. All right,
I saw Winnie the Pooh's next movie, and I'm kind of heartwarmed
at this point. I'm scared. I'm just scared. All right, so we are at 14th place overall. There is a three-way tie. Each of these games scoring 6 points each.
A threesome. Lay
Yeah,
down on me.
yeah. So we have three games. We have Ghosts of Tsushima, The Witcher 3,
You testing
and
me.
TIE Fighter.
Fuck, that's me. Oh god damn it! Why you make me do this, man? You made me throw myself against my selections.
It's 14th
Bullshit.
place. It's on the list. Let's be real. It's not at the bottom, right?
All
We have
right.
like if 5 spaces before it. So
All right. Reality speaks for itself. This is Witcher 3 TIE Fighter Ghost of Tsushima. There's no way to alter that any more than this, because it will be a cardinal sin to try to pretend that Ghost of Tsushima was more than what it really is, which is a phenomenal game. But TIE Fighter was a legendary PC title of all time, so much that it was one of the first remakes ever made.
True, it's true. You mentioned that. So I haven't played TIE Fighter, so I cannot, in good conscience, put it above the other two.
Imagine playing it. So okay. So take away the because I know you're not a fan of the dogfighting. It has already been proven. So
I'm not gonna say. Chances are, had I played it, I probably would have liked it.
Because I know that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Taking away the fact that you're not a sim player, a space sim player,
a flight sim, really.
A flight sim. Well, this one's in space, but whatever. Yeah. It's a game where you play the Empire or a member of the Empire, and it's not the Disney fucking bullshit of trying to let's pretend that you're a bad guy because the Empire is evil, and let's just have you switch sides, and then you're like the leader of the rebellion. It turns out you created the rebellion because we have hope in you. There's none of that bullshit. You were a hardcore TIE fighter pilot from beginning to end. You served the Emperor. You hunted rebels, and it was an amazing experience. There's an anime on YouTube about TIE Fighter. Someone made that looks phenomenal. I encourage anybody to get to find that short animation. It's like 7 minutes long. They did an amazing job, and that's how the way the animation looks. That's how this game makes you feel throughout an entire campaign, where it has and it shows it's not portraying the rebels as evil in the sense of, well, there are, they're your typical bad guys or anything like that, but it made the rebels. It showed the rebels in the same way that what was that movie? Rogue One kind of portrayed them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it was like to get here, you have to get your hands dirty and do some shady deals and stuff like that. And I fell in love completely with that. With that game, even though there was its own version of, because TIE Fighter was actually the sequel to X-Wing, which was like the main course, of course. But no, bro, TIE Fighter was something extraordinarily special. That said, I know you fucking hate Star Wars, and I know you fucking hate.
So I don't hate Star Wars. I'm just,
I know you're anti-Star Wars, and I know you're anti-flight sims. So this is not gonna be.
It's gonna be your third love for Star Wars. For the record, I still have a prior love for it. It's just really anything more recent, and the next announcement they have could not fall on more deafer ears when they do make that announcement. But
you still need to play Jedi Fallen Order, and I hope you do.
And I do have it. It's installed. It's installed. It's not. It literally is installed on my PlayStation 5 as we speak.
You should have picked up that over Metro, but I'm just saying.
Well, I mean, I got Metro, so
no, Metro's good. Metro's good.
So because of that, I hear you, bro. It sounds amazing, but I have zero connection to it.
Yeah, I know. I know.
And so that's really kind of now. The Witcher 3 obviously is going to be my first one. I don't have to. I've
That was you.
spoken. Oh, and you know that was my choice. Do you know who Ghost of Tsushima was?
That sounds like Sparrow.
Yeah, that's a Sparrow. So
that,
yeah,
that
when I
sounds
saw it
like
too, I was
Sparrow.
like,
Yeah.
Ghost of Tsushima. I mean, it was a good game, but it was a really good game. But I was like,
Of all
of all
time,
time, okay,
son. Like,
yeah,
of all time.
yeah.
Of
Hey,
all
if we could
time.
only have him here to defend said pick, it would be
Sony
excellent. Yeah.
had so many incredible. They're probably higher of the list, so that's okay.
It could be. It could be.
That's okay.
But The
That's
Witcher
okay.
3 I've
That's okay.
spoken about God knows how many times.
Oh, yeah.
Played both expansions to completion. That game owns a part of my life. Essentially, it owns a part of my a
You
year of
are
my
the
life.
Witcher.
Sure, yeah, I'm one of the Witchers. I was House Cat or whatever the hell's and so yeah, that game is ridiculous. The fact that they're making a Witcher 4 makes sense in many ways because of whatever, but I'm a little bit bummed because I feel if you play the two expansions, you feel that there's a nice
You got
like
an ending.
you got it this wonderful conclusion. And
Yeah.
to say you're gonna do a fourth, it's like, oh, and I get it because Cyberpunk, they fucking shot the bed on Cyberpunk. Yes, they made a lot of sales, but they also like their value has significantly dropped with
They're not
everything that
going back
happened.
to that
Yeah,
well
exactly.
ever. Yeah.
Exactly.
At least
So
not for
they'd
a
rather go
sequel.
to the well, exactly. They'd rather go to the well that proved them
Yeah.
prove to be good for them. Anyway, so all right, so we got that. That was 14th place. Now we're at 13th place. Another three-way tie.
Another threesome. Wow.
Another threesome. Yeah, we have Portal 2, Doom Eternal, and Gears of War 3. Gears of War makes another return here.
Gears
Okay.
of War. That's the that is a really good series, but it's kind of overdone already. Let's be real.
There you
We
go.
don't
That's
need Gears of War
tie for
4 or
13th
5.
place. All games getting all three games accumulating 7 points.
It's
Portal
sad.
2, I think, is like excellent.
It saddens me. Like it breaks my heart that we have members of our group, members of our close group of friends that have not experienced Portal 2 because they think, oh, this is just a puzzle game or something like that, and they haven't like they don't even realize, and maybe that's for the best for them because if they realize they kind of fall into depression. The glaring hole that they have in their gaming
Library.
lifestyle, in the gaming lifetime. It's
Okay.
Portal 2. It's
Phenomenal.
Portal 2 might as well be Super Mario Brothers fucking title. Well, I mean, that could mean many things. Anyway, yeah.
I agree with Portal 2.
Portal
Portal 2
2.
is an excellent selection. By the way, I want to make sure I go back. The last one, TIE Fighter, Witcher 3, and Ghost of Tsushima, those finished on 5th place on our list. Ghost of Tsushima was 5th place in Sparrow Wolves. Witcher 3 was 5th place on my list. And TIE Fighter was 5th place on your list. I just want to make sure we shout out where they sit on our individual.
Oh, okay. Good. Yeah.
And so on this one here, Portal 2. So first off, we know who selected Portal, which is an excellent selection for the record. I think I really did enjoy the game. It just didn't make the list, but if the list was longer, it would have made it on my list. Can you imagine? Can you
fucking cop out? If the list would have been 100 games,
it would have been my top 15.
Big fucking whoop for consolation.
So Doom Eternal and Gears of War 3, what do you got? Who do you think selected those?
Yes, Doom Eternal was dark because we had that conversation yesterday.
Wrong.
What? Yeah. Doom Eternal was not dark?
Nope. Not even on his list. Hello, only one person selected it, so yeah.
I'm dead. I mean,
he's like, I don't know.
Garrick sounds like the next logical choice. But if I'm wrong there,
It was
then
Chaos. It
it
was
was
Chaos.
chaos. Doom Eternal, huh?
Mhm.
Interesting choice instead of
Instead of the
Doom
2016.
2016.
Yeah, I would have thought so too.
Interesting choice there. I think you fucked up a little bit, brother, but I still love you. No, because I mean, I
There's
would have
still
picked
love
up
there.
I played Eternal and I love Eternal, but I mean, Eternal was more Doom. It was just more Doom.
Yeah.
That'll be reducing. So I guess he could be. Yeah, I guess he's right. Sorry. Um, shit, man.
Gears of War 3? You gonna say
Gears of
who?
War
Yeah,
3. Was that Sparrow?
that was Firewolf. Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yep,
All right.
that was
Yeah.
Firewolf. And this is, of course, all of these are so Sparrowwolf had this as fourth, Gears of War 3 on his list.
Hmm.
Doom Eternal was fourth on Chaos list, and Portal 2 was fourth on your list, sir.
Good job, Sparrow. That's the Gears of War that I was expecting to hear somewhere, and I'm glad to see that it got mentioned and that it is actually higher on the list. So yeah, major props. This is Portal 2 not being higher it's still a calamity, but I'm willing to
13th
accept
place, man.
that.
13th place. Go on now.
Yeah, no, that's true. 13 plays.
13th
Yeah,
place
yeah,
out of
yeah.
19. Think about that. 13th place out of
Yeah,
19.
that's true. That's true. And then what was the other one?
Doom Eternal, Gears of War, Portal 2.
Oh yeah, there you go. So okay, so this list is obviously Portal. First. And then I could go either way, really. I mean, Gears of War 3 was phenomenal, and then but so was Doom Eternal. Well, you know what? I won't say Gears of War 3, because Gears of War 3 was like the conclusion of it, of that trilogy. Uh, it was a great way that it ended well. It was, yeah, that game was special. Yeah, 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 and it was also higher on the list for Sparrow. Doom Eternal is a fantastic title, but I personally would have gone for Doom 2016, just because I feel like that had more impact
Hmm.
than Doom Eternal. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I make that game of the year when Titanfall 2 should have had that.
that's a blaring error, isn't it?
No, in retrospect, I feel okay.
Are you okay with this? Okay.
Yeah.
I agree. Portal 2, excellent game. I feel that that's one of those games that almost hinges on playing Portal, but not completely.
Yeah, that's true. But
You
to
know what
be
I
fair,
mean?
Portal is a short experience. Like, you can knock
Correct.
Portal in like an
Yeah.
hour or two.
Yeah.
If
I agree
anything.
with that. But Portal 2 is excellent.
Oh,
Absolutely. That's the out of the three, I'm putting that
best
first.
writings in games.
Oh yeah, for
So
sure.
good.
And voice acting in games for sure.
Oh yes,
Um, and
GLaDOS.
so
I
Doom
want to
Eternal,
marry GLaDOS.
the Doom Eternal will be my second, only because I have not played Gears of War 3. Not That's a lie. I played some Gears of War 3, but it wasn't mine. I was just at a friend's house and we were all playing. But I don't
You
have
play
any
this
connection
what
to the
this
series.
bullshit.
The No, it was enjoyable for what it was, but I didn't own an Xbox, so what I'm gonna do. Doom Eternal, I agree. I probably would
Recognize.
have gone with Doom 2016 probably in front of that, but
Yeah, I feel
hey,
like that alone should have been argument enough, but that's fine.
yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. But all right, the next 12th place is a two-way tie. Only two games made it to 12th
Chewy.
place. The first game is let me go back to it real quick. StarCraft, and the second game is Cuphead.
I feel like you're setting me up.
Oh, am I?
The first one is a blowjob. The second one is a punch in the nut.
It's anal rimming. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh shit. Fuck.
I mean, I already know where you're going. I don't have to even pretend.
So let's
I'm
not
already
even
numbering
exactly.
it. Yeah,
Let's
I'm already
fucking not even,
numbering it.
because I mean, what will be the point of having this
Yeah,
discussion,
I
really?
mean, talk about Scott Tark. You give a little, give the blurb,
So
give the
okay,
of
so
why it makes it. Because I know, if by the way, if you don't already know, that was his selection, Dream Twister's selection. It is his number
yes,
three
yes.
overall StarCraft.
For the
uh,
longest time, the number one for a long time.
for a long
But
time. Yeah,
then things happen.
things happen.
Um,
Cuphead. Can you guess who had that as their number three?
fucking Sparrow, because who
Oh, okay.
else?
Yeah. Okay.
It's,
I guess so.
yeah, of course it's
Yeah.
there.
Good choice,
Mega,
Sparrow. For the
he's a
record,
mega
good choice.
fan, of that. And as you can see, he has, even he himself has fans, just for his selection. Um, so I tell you what I like. I tell you what I love about Star. First of all, no one else plays StarCraft here or have ever played it, but even the non-players have
Recognize.
to recognize that game alone revolutionized esports, and he made it like that game alone made such a hit in South Korea that it was bigger than anything else. And I'm not making this up. I'm not making this up. It was bigger than any Hollywood film. It was bigger than any fucking actor or actress or product or thing or whatever. Like, fucking read it. Fucking
Yeah.
check it out. Like, there was StarCraft branded Coke, and Pep. No, well, not Pepsi, but Coke. Drinks, and StarCraft branded anything. That shit was like South Korea's Mickey Mouse. um, but I always found that fascinating, even though that's not the reason why I'm bringing it. I'm saying that it should be on the list or anything like that. Honestly, let's be real. No one played it but me, so this list is gonna be Cuphead and then StarCraft from some heathens, but that's fine.
I
Um,
mean, you're gonna put in obviously StarCraft first and
fucking know
Cuphead right
that. I
at the end.
mean,
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
the reason I feel the StarCraft is so special is because this is good Blizzard. This is before, this is before Blizzard got tainted and corrupted and destroyed and like
Right.
raped from the inside into the shadow puppet company that it is today. Um, I'm still looking forward to Diablo 4. Um, StarCraft was phenomenal Blizzard when they were at the peak of their uh, story writing, uh, gameplay design, um, just the just the story of StarCraft alone. I wish I could have seen it in a film or a series, and it's too bad because I mean, I don't think it's necessarily possible because at the same time it borrows from films and that from movies, films that we have seen all already, so it doesn't necessarily like a product like that probably not gonna be the most original thing nowadays, but it was still a very epic story, very well told throughout a campaign. There was an RTS game, a real-time strategy game. um I personally never played the multiplayer, the esports portion, but the esports portion was like he's super fucking huge. Um, More so than anything, I feel. Although something probably have dethroned already. I don't know. Probably Fortnite for all we know. I
I
don't know
mean,
much
at this
about
point, possibly. Yeah.
esports anymore. No, probably Dota. I think Dota would have
Oh,
actually
right, right, right.
exceeded that. But still, um, I fucking love StarCraft. Just the storyline alone made me fantasize about a about a series, about a movie, about something that will give me more of this of this epic this epic conflict between these three completely different races. You got the humans, you got the enigmatic Protoss, and you have the H.I. Geigers looking Zerg, which on their own side they look like wild animals and crazy animals, but in reality, they all had a hierarchy of command and like a collective consciousness, Um, so so yeah, but anyway,
Good
it
stuff.
it's gonna Cuphead for because everybody and Cuphead is good. Cuphead is great. I'm not
As
taking
a
anything
person,
away
I
from
haven't
it.
played StarCraft, but I respect what StarCraft. There's no if you. The sad part is there's probably many mainstream gamers who have never heard of American, for the record, American mainstream gamers who never have fucking heard of StarCraft.
No, you are
Um,
completely 100% mistaken on that. Many console players of this generation, maybe,
okay, so we'll
but
go with
StarCraft is
console.
fucking huge.
I was gonna say yes. I want to say outside with computer gaming, PC gaming, and all that
Yeah,
stuff. Sure, but yes, within those spaces, they probably maybe have heard the name, don't even know what the heck it is. And so that said, as someone who does knows what it is, never played it because it's not my type of game, and it's not because it's PC. It's just I'm not an RTS guy.
right.
Um, it's just but that all said, I respect this is another game that's a movement. And because it's a movement, I too will put it in front of Cuphead. Because again, that's where when I'm judging these things here, it depends on whether I've touched it. If I've touched it, I have very little say on it, but I can't sensibly make a thing if it's going back over to TIE Fighter, not
Mhm.
saying it's not a special game, but I don't see that being the same movement as StarCraft. Like I,
No, for
I have
sure,
to
for sure.
respect StarCraft and go, yes, StarCraft is a thing. It's this huge thing outside of this amazing Star
You know how we're crazy
Star Wars
about
Star Wars.
NFL football here in America?
Mhm.
The crazy. I mean, because
I do. I'm part of the
you are
crazies.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
You know that, and you've seen the stadiums, right?
I do. Yeah, I've been in those stadiums
Yeah,
shouting like a loon.
right. You see the euphoria and the craziness.
Mhm.
Imagine that on a fucking esports scene for one fucking title
Yeah.
that Blizzard made.
I've
An
seen that
entire
because I was looking
nation.
into
It's
the
ridiculous.
yeah, I was looking into I don't know, I got into some weird rabbit hole on YouTube and I was just looking at like look how big all these things. And then you look at that stuff and you go, whoa, this is basically like you said, the Super Bowl of whatever, you know what I mean? But it's
Yeah,
like massive, even more than you would think of. And because of that, I have to put that first, just because I know that. I just know. Now,
right.
that doesn't take anything away from Cuphead. Cuphead in itself is
No.
an excellent game. It is
Yes.
also dripping in style. I mean,
Yes.
the art style that they selected for this game is, is of a specific era, and it
Mhm.
owns it
Yeah.
completely. They spare
Fucking
no
nails it.
expense on delivering in that art style. Uh,
Yes.
and so respect for having that game. And it is number 12 on our top 10 on top list of all time, number 12. Um, so definitely earns the place. Tied with StarCraft. How about
Yeah.
in what
Who would have
mad
thought?
list would you ever put those two tied together? Yeah,
Only
only
on the
on our
GG
list. Yeah,
list.
only on our list. Yeah. All right, number 11. So this
I
this
with
I'm
TIE
gonna
Fighter.
preface this by saying the 11th place. This is the last place that is outside of the top 10,
Is
and
this
it
the last
is
place where it's shared? Or are they gonna be on the top
this is
10? Do
the
we have
last
shares?
place that yeah, this is the last one that's gonna have ties. Yes.
Okay. Oh
Um,
shit. All right.
yes.
This is the part where the fun stops.
The fun stops here. Yeah. Tied for 11th place, all scoring 9 points each. And there is
Oof.
a four-way tie. We
Wow.
have
We're gonna
Fantasy Star, Final Fantasy 14, Hollow Knight, and Marvel versus Capcom 2.
fucking
2.
dark. God damn it.
And I just
why
sent it over to you,
why
sir. And yeah, there you go.
why you have to why have to be like that, Dark?
Yeah.
Come on.
Not like this, Dark.
Not
Not like
like
this.
this. I told you, didn't I? I told you you were supposed to be the chosen one. I told you it was gonna
I
happen.
mean,
I knew on the
res-
very last one.
respect to Marvel versus Capcom 2 as being one of the top.
I
Uh,
give no
yeah,
respect.
I mean, just saying. Well, okay, I hear you. It wouldn't even be nowhere near my list. So I hear you. I hear you. I'm just trying to help you out,
No, no,
dog.
no.
I'm
I
just
know,
trying to
no,
help you
I
out.
know it's what for what it and you know what? Uh, fucking fucking love to Doc for making sure that there were a fighting game representation, because I feel like we all get all starstruck with like, oh, the favorite game of all times. We're not fighting paying people, so we're not even gonna count those, even though they have made a huge. I mean, we're we are required by law to add Street Fighter 2 to the list. And it's like a big fucking disclaimer at the bottom. It's like, no, no. I shout out to fucking Dark for making sure that fighting games get proper representation.
Hey, I threw one in there because there was a huge part of my early gaming life that was all Street Fighter 2, which is why I played it.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Real
yeah.
quick, so I want to make sure I mentioned that. Going back to StarCraft, StarCraft was on your list. It was your
Number three.
number 3 overall. Oh, I did say
Yeah.
this. Yeah,
Yeah, you
and then
mentioned that.
Cuphead was number 3 overall for Sparrow. Okay, I'm sorry, sorry.
Yeah.
All right, so for these four, sir, I mean these cannot be more telegraphed. You should be able to see the name behind the choice. You know
I
what I
mean,
mean?
this list literally reads as David Gilberto, Arnaldo, Jose.
Oh, almost, sir. Hollow Knight's not
What?
on my list. Yeah, that
What?
is Sparrow's. Yes, that's his number 2
Oh
overall.
shit!
Number
Spiral.
2
That's his
overall
number
for
two. Hollow
Sparrow
Knight.
is
Hollow
Hollow
Knight's
Knight.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
Hollow
Oh, it
Knight it.
is. It
Hollow
is.
Knight it. Yeah,
I
yeah,
just
yeah.
didn't. You know what it is? I felt weird including it in any way because I didn't finish it and I kind of abandoned it halfway. So
We
that's maybe
played it
why
though.
I did play it, but I
We
mean,
saw we saw what
I'm
it
still
was and what it
I'm
was.
still.
Was
But
something
honestly,
special.
when I look at my list, I still go, yeah, I'm comfortable with everything that's here, and it's
Yeah,
sitting outside of it. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Again, a
yeah,
list of 15, maybe a different story, but
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, so yeah, that's Hollow Knight. That's Sparrow Wolf's number 2 overall. Final
Mm-hmm.
Fantasy 14, you nailed it. That is Chaos number 2, and yes, obviously Marvel versus Capcom 2 is definitely Dark's number 2 overall.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, this one's going to be interesting in your own ranking.
Well, I mean, I have there's some things that I need to recognize. First off, Fantasy Star. Fantasy Star was literally my first love with RPG games in general. This was it. This was, if you were to ask me like, what was the very first RPG that you played that you fell in love? Actually, not even that you fucking played, because I don't. Before that, I would have played probably like Zelda. You know, they obviously the original Zelda, the Legend of Zelda. Um, I wouldn't have had play Final Fantasy, because Final Fantasy came in after, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I know that I saw it. I saw Final Fantasy after experiencing Fantasy Star, and even though it was a great game, in no way it gave me the experience that Fantasy Star had. And Fantasy Star, it's a game. It's an RPG where there are whether when was a lot of RPGs were content with just giving you an overworld.
Mm-hmm.
Fantasy Star gave you 3 overworlds, 3 different planets that you could that you could travel. And it's not like it telegraphed that, oh, that's what you're gonna do. No, you didn't know about this until, surprise, you're traveling to another area after exploring this, and it's not like, oh, it's a second stage. You're done with stage 1 with the planet Palma. No, you can backtrack. You can explore, like legitimately explore, not again, not just do point A takes you to point B to point 6 like direct. No. You should be doing that, yes, but you could go off the beaten path and find some surprises. The dungeons. The dungeons were the first time ever that I've seen 3D dungeons. And yes, it's not it's not real 3D as in the sense of, it's not like like a polygon that you can move around and shape and change or anything like that. No, it was a trick done with sprites.
Mm-hmm.
But the fucking trick was so convincing. You could not believe that that was being done on a console, on an inferior console of them. Although some might argue that the Master System has some advantages over the NES, but the NES had,
It did. Yeah,
as
it did.
always, it had the better. It did okay, so that's what it was. But it was not by much, and it was nowhere to the level of what I mean. Though that game gave you, when you were fighting enemies, it gave you big ass chunky sprites. Like, I want you to look at screenshots of the
Essentially, I'll
original
do it right
Fantasy
now.
Star
Mhm.
and look at it. That was the 8-bit era. Now they were not full motion. They were not like just like moving around like 3D animated things. However, they attack convincingly. Like, if they had to swing an axe, they will show the characters swing an axe. It had backgrounds whenever you were fighting them, and what do you call it, a turn based,
Sure.
like
Yeah.
all those games were.
Yeah.
But
Dragon War has that
Dragon
too.
War, like, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, like Dragon War. But the fighting looked like incredibly more updated. Not even Fantasy Star 2 on the Sega Genesis managed to look as good as a Fantasy Star did on the Sega, which was an 8-bit console. Not even. And granted, Fantasy Star 2 was kind of rushed also, but still, not even with the power of the Genesis, they were able to replicate that again. I played that game through a hurricane also. It's not good. This list, however, I have to recognize that
Oh.
not a lot of people play Fantasy Star, and I feel
No, no,
very
no, no,
sorry for you.
no. This is personal, sir.
No,
This
but
is
at the same time, yeah, I know it is. But just like you did, you have to recognize a movement.
sure. Okay.
Final Fantasy 14 is it is the biggest, like, most incredible return to form story, underdog, whatever you want to call it. Maybe not underdog, because obviously Square Enix is huge, but like, what do you call when someone does an about
Redemption.
face?
A redemption story.
Redemption, that's the word. Thank you. It is the biggest story of redemption, so much so that we have Sean Murray doing with No Man's Sky.
Hold my beer. I can do something
Trying
better.
to, yes, and some might say, like, exceeding, because that's something else. But my God, that game came from rags to riches, from ashy to classy. I like that.
From
No,
ashy
no.
to classy. Wow.
That was, shout out to Biggie. Yeah, definitely Final Fantasy 14, Fantasy Star, Hollow Knight, and Marvel vs. Capcom. If there was ever a
Are
game
you
that I
asking
wish
me
you would
to?
have played when you were little, because it's not gonna be the same now. You would play when you were little, you would have lost yourself, or who knows? Because maybe you couldn't care, you wouldn't have given two shits to RPGs. But I liked them. I did. I thought it was incredible.
So wait,
Fantasy Star
Final
especially.
Fantasy 14, Fantasy Star, Hollow Knight, Marvel's Capcom. Okay.
Yes. Final Fantasy 14. It's a movement, and that game, it's incredible. I still want to play. I just don't want to. Oh,
I
subscription.
will go a little bit off kilter here. I recognize the bigness of Final Fantasy 14. There's no denying that. But I do have an actual love for Hollow Knight. So I
Okay.
would probably put that one in front of it. Fantasy 14 behind that, Fantasy Star behind that, and then of course, sorry, Dark. Marvel vs. Capcom is going to sit by
it gets
itself
its
somewhere.
recognition. It gets its love, and it is very high on the list, so you can't
It is
complain, right?
extremely high. It's literally one space right outside of the top 10 overall.
He was literally the only one pushing for it, so
And yeah,
that's
I
an
was gonna say
amazing
he was the only
accomplishment.
one
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
pushing for that. I mean, to be fair, everything before this, it's only been one person pushing for these. So that's something else to consider. Everything we've
Yeah.
seen up to this point, it appears once on all lists.
Yeah.
You know, there's no duplicates, and so that's important to note. All right, we are now officially in the top
Yeah.
10, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh
Uh,
boy.
are you ready, sir? Are you ready? Do you feel the heat? Do you feel like you're
Ooh,
sweating up
oh,
underneath
I
the,
feel the heat,
thing?
all right,
Okay,
but it's
all
still probably because my house still smelled like burned
right.
bread, like burned. Yeah.
Oh God, I'm sorry to hear that, sir. So believe it or not, for some strange reason,
Hmm.
and I can send you this because I have a feeling I'm gonna get a lot of hate on this.
I don't want to see the list until
There's no list. Remember, this is everything's one. Here.
oh,
Oh, I see what you're
okay.
saying. The final, yeah, I'm gonna go one on one here. This is the sole game that sits at number 10 overall, and it is the only game on this that was it's by itself. It scored 10 points. It is number one on the list of someone, and I'm sure you're gonna guess who it is the moment I say who it is. The game is Bioshock.
That's you.
Yes, it is.
That is you.
That
Holy
is.
shit, guys! What? I can't say. I'm like, what's wrong with you people? And I didn't even put
You
it on
didn't put
my
it on your
list.
list either,
No,
yeah. So
no,
it's
I
like
did not.
even at number 10,
You
you could
know.
it could have earned 11 points instead of just 10. But no, it owns the sole spot. I looked at this and I redid the numbers. I was like, this can't be somebody else. It's at number 10.
Hey,
So part of
listen.
me is like happy. It's like, well, you know what? At least it made the top 10.
It's in the it sits in the table of greatness. Right? It's at the table. It's
It
at
is.
the yeah.
It
We need
is.
to respect the fact that it is there, and you're not wrong.
And
It's
I'm going to hate on a lot of folks because that, ladies and gentlemen, is probably one of the best games. Well, obviously, it's number one on my list
yes,
overall, mind you. And
Bioshock.
The original Bioshock,
Did you
the
ever read the
OG.
book?
I did.
The
Yeah,
Aaron
I
Ryan
did.
book. You
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
You were just enthralled with
I
it
was
so
just
much that you
oh,
need to
it was
know.
it. It was for me, it was a
Uh-huh.
movie.
It
You
was
know
a
what I
movie.
mean?
Yeah.
And it, like I said, a friend came over. He lent me his Xbox, and he went out to do a bunch of shit. And
This could have
he
been the
brought
game
three
that turned
games.
him.
It was almost like literally, it was going to be that game. And shortly thereafter, because at that point I was like, okay, I need to put money aside. I need to put money aside. Shortly thereafter, Red Ring started ringing all
Fucking
over the
did,
fucking
baby.
U.S. and the world. And I was like, okay, no, I
you
do not need that.
you fucked up Xbox. You think we could have a Mad Dog on the Xbox side of things? That would have been the most alternate unit. I mean, forget about you
Yeah,
being against the
it
rapper.
would have been.
You being an Xbox fanboy would have been the
Yep. And
absolute.
it was all Bioshock's no, not Bioshock's fault. It was going to be Bioshock's the reasoning of to get
Yes.
in, but it was all the Red Ring's fault. And yeah, so yeah,
Fucking
Bioshock
Red
is
Ring.
it was on no one's list other than mine, and it was my number one. So it got a full solid 10 points on its own, and it sits at number 10. Number nine.
Number
Ninth
9.
place. This game appeared on two lists.
World
Because
exclusive.
again, remember, because it appears on multiple lists, it immediately gets 10 points plus whatever the sum of the accumulating people. This game is Shadow of the Colossus. Is
Ooh.
number 9 overall. Sir, can you guess the list that includes said game?
They include
Who's
Shadow of
who?
Colossus.
Yes, it disappeared on two lists
So
for the record.
absolutely without a doubt. Again, because of his refined taste, Sparrow.
You're right. It was number 9 on Sparrow Wolf's list.
It was number 9 Sparrow. Okay, and
earning 2 points there.
Fuck, who would have put it so high that it would have earned the other eight? Um, what's the game again?
You're not doing the math.
No, I'm
It
not
just
doing the math. Sorry.
it scores 10 points by itself just for appearing on two lists.
That's true. That's
It
true.
scored total of 15 points, so that means it scored on list. It scored for him 2 points on his list, and somebody else had it as their eighth place.
As the eighth place. That's what I should have said. Yeah, eighth place. Um, what was the game again? I forgot.
Shadow of the Colossus.
Shadow of the Colossus. Yes. Shadow doesn't sound like you'll be. I mean, you love that game. You wouldn't go to war over that game. Probably doesn't sound like a chaos one either, and much less dark. This is hard. I think Sparrow double voted.
Yeah, sure.
This game sounds like okay. So this game sounds like it's for the refined palate, and I only know two people that had the most refined palate, which would be Sparrow and you.
Sir, it is
I'm gonna say
number
you.
8 on my list.
Hey!
It's above Street Fighter 2 and above Super Mario Brothers 3. Mostly
crazy.
because
What's
it
the Mario
is.
Brothers 3? That's
I
insane.
remember being. I mean, by the way, I bought the remake of it as well, and
Yes, you
played
did.
through it again. But I remember the original just being this amazing journey,
Mhm.
which had this wonderful soundtrack and music, and just these majestic animals that you are slaughtering through the
Damn it.
game. It's like,
I
what
giving you
is
so much
happening?
crap for not playing a Metal Gear Solid 4, and you haven't given me any for not playing this game.
I To be fair, I look at this and say, I don't think this is your kind of game. That's why I've never even
Really?
such.
Oh.
It's just, yeah. I send. Funny thing is, I actually own it, and I send the remake. I send a copy of that to Chaos. So I don't know if he's. I think he's just holding up. Well, he also went through a move and stuff like that, so it could be just stored somewhere. But if he ever gets done with it, or if he just doesn't mind passing it along for a moment, it can come to you. It'll be the remake, obviously. It won't be the original, which
Mhm.
is fine
Yeah.
because the
I mean, I will
original is
play the.
dated. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't
But
want to play at 12 frames per second.
oh,
Thank you.
dude, yeah, and that was PlayStation 2, and that was the other thing. The amazing visuals they got out of a fucking
Yeah.
PlayStation 2, bro. Yes, it looks harsh right now, but for its
No,
time on
it's
PlayStation
time.
2, I'm talking about the zit era. You know what I mean? The
Yeah.
pimples and zits. They got some really good
This was
stuff out of that. Yeah.
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 This was a beautiful young lady.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so that's number 9 on two lists. Number 8 also appearing on two lists, scoring a total of 16 points.
Oof.
Resident Evil 4. Sir,
Hmm.
can you guess who had this on their list?
Resident Evil 4. Resident Evil 4. I want to say dark, but it smells like chaos. And it's probably you. Oh, me.
You were actually you were right on the first two. It is on Dark's list as number 9 on his list overall, and
Yeah.
it is on Chaos list as number wait 10, 9, 8, 7, 7 on his list
Oh.
overall. So it scored 6 points there, plus another 10 for just appearing on two lists, giving it 16 points.
Mhm.
I respect this game. I wasn't as blown away as most other people were.
Oh, wait, Resident Evil 4?
Resident Evil 4, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Jesus Christ, dude. What are you made of?
No, it
Resident
just
Evil,
don't get
that's
me
a
wrong.
movement.
I'm still think it's an excellent game. I don't have the connection to it that most people. Maybe that's what I mean. I don't have the connection to it. I recognize it
Uh,
being a special thing that it is. But
I
remember, I
don't
didn't
like
play. I
Resident
didn't.
Evil games, and I love Resident Evil 4. I should tell you.
That does say a lot. Yeah, that does say,
That's what I
I
say a
made
lot.
it. I never got it when it came on the GameCube because obviously I didn't have a GameCube. But I did when it finally came to PlayStation, and I want to say it was
Yeah,
PlayStation
that's what I
3. I don't
played.
recall. But yeah, I just it never obviously it's just not high on the list. I probably have several Resident Evils in front of it before I would put Resident Evil 4. But again, it's just I didn't have that connection. By the time I got to it, I was like, this is cool, and I never finished it. So maybe it has something to do with it as well. But yeah,
Mm.
that's number 8 overall. All right. Number 7 overall, scoring a total of 20 points, appearing on 2 lists. We
Ooh,
have Metal Gear Solid 3.
yes.
Oh, yes. Can you guess who had Metal Gear Solid 3 on their lists?
That was you.
Yeah, that's right. It
Yeah.
was it was
But
number
that also
6 on my list.
me.
The what?
It's also me, I think. I think it's
No,
better
you
than
didn't
no.
have Metal Gear Solid 3. The other one was Chaos, also number 6 on his list. So it scored 5 points on his list, 5 points on my list, 10 points for being on 2 lists, giving it 20. And I mean, Snake Eater, guys. Snake
Thank
Eater.
you. I know, it's such a
It's
good
such
theme
a freaking
song. Oh
good. Yeah, yeah.
God.
Overall, I feel that still I haven't played 4, and I know that's the thing. But I
No, but I
still
mean,
say
four, yeah, four is crazy. Four is its own thing. I'm not gonna sit down and pontificate and try to say, oh no, it's better than three because it's fucking not. I mean, even on my list, I think I had I put Metal Gear Solid 2 because it made a bigger impact on me than 3, but that's just the fault of where you're the next number.
yeah,
But I
I
still
see.
recognize Metal Gear Solid 3, and I'm so happy that it's on this list because
Yeah.
he absolutely deserved it. That
Yeah.
game was
And number
phenomenal.
7 overall. So Chaos and I voted for this one. I
Thank you
agree.
guys.
It
Thank you guys.
is an excellent game. I absolutely it's my favorite Metal Gear. When I think of Metal Gear,
Yes.
I only want to play that game again. And I would
Yes.
love
Snake Eater was
a wonderful remake of that.
phenomenal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Edging out that game for number 6 place overall, scoring 21 points, 1 point more. Metal Gear Solid 2.
Yes, rightfully deserved.
This is number 6 on your list,
Oh, I'm
giving
so
it 5 points.
happy.
Can you guess who else helped you get it there, sir?
Uh, I would have extend a special thanks to my dear friend Sparrow Wolf for allowing allowing this honor to happen of having Metal Gear Solid 2 recognized as the seminal title, the one that came before, because it literally came before, to Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, which is a phenomenal game, but I mean,
As much as I'd like to
I have scissors 69 or 61, I think it was.
So as much as I like to say that the Sparrow Wolf did do that, that is not on Sparrow list at
You
all.
fucking traitor, Spiral Wolf. I never liked you.
This is
Fuck you.
number 5 on Dark's list, giving it
On
6 points.
Darklist. Make the Shawshank Redemption, if there's ever been one. Dark.
Oh
I
shit.
want to give a special thanks to my dear friend Dark for Rick. You know what? Marvel vs. Capcom is a fantastic game. I think it should knock Bioshock and be the number 10.
Oh no. Thank you very much. This is not gonna fucking happen. Metal Gear Solid 2, I have nothing but good things to say about it as well. I just like Metal Gear Solid 3 more. Metal Gear Solid 2 had some really wacky moments that were amazing, but sit as the sit in the wacky end of things.
You
Yeah, yeah.
say you guys dislike writing. I get it.
No, no, I
Nobody
appreciate
like
about
writing
writing.
the best. One of the best. No, I mean you can be honest. I wasn't in love with it, but I wasn't also like I wasn't uh, I was okay with the discovery. I know a lot of people were very upset with the fact that that
Writing
you
became
don't
the
play
primary
as
guy. No,
yeah,
I
yeah.
definitely was not one of those. For me, it's always like, tell me the story. If the story doesn't require the old protagonist, okay, then give me a good story. And it never bothered me. What bothered me was
Mm.
just some of it was like Metal Gear Solid 1 felt like they had like interesting villains. The rogues gallery that they had in the first one,
Yes.
probably overall probably better than the other two, honestly.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
But they had this interesting rogues gallery. Part 2 had a rogues gallery that went a little too
Wacky.
wacky. Yeah, and I was like,
I'm not
okay,
gonna
all right,
deny
I
that.
get it.
I'm not gonna. We have a vampire. We have a lady
Yeah,
that
the lady
doesn't
supposed to get
die.
shot. Yeah,
We have
yeah,
a
yeah. The guy
fat
at the roller
guy called
skate.
Fat Man
Yeah,
on
yeah,
roller skate.
yeah.
We
Exactly.
have a person covered in bees. Like I get, yeah,
Yeah. So
I see
it
where you're
became
coming
a
from.
little, just a little out there, a little anime, if you will. Uh,
One of the best one of the best moments of all time was the freak out that I got. I probably must have been like 2 in the morning or probably like that when Captain Anderson is
Anderson, yeah.
what and Captain Anderson at the very I'm out already at the close to the end of Metal Gear Solid 2, and he calls me and he tells me in fourth wall breaking turn the console off.
Yeah.
Like turn the game off now. It's like holy shit, this is the devil. It freaked me out so much, and then it became worse because then he started. Because at first he gave me the famous worm quote.
Oh
I have
yeah,
scissors,
yeah,
69, which was phenomenal. That delivery is probably one of the best quotes in gaming. Um, but then telling me just straight up like turn the game off was it kind of freaked me out.
yeah. So it was a freaky. That whole sequence was pretty freaky. But after a while, I was like, okay, I'm seeing what we're doing here. But anyway, my point
Also
is to say, oh
go ahead.
no, I was going
No,
to say that when we got to Metal Gear Solid 3, I felt like okay, we had a balance again to having some interesting villains who still had some wackiness to them, but not extreme. You know what
I
I mean?
know, yeah,
So
but
that's kind of where I
I
separate
feel
the
like
two.
Metal Gear like the reason I my love for two swells so much also is I feel like I fucking love Snake Eater. Don't get me wrong. Don't get it twisted. It's a fantastic game, but it was almost an answer to the people that didn't like the second one,
Hmm.
and they kind of went a little too serious on it. I mean, it has some wacky moments, but it didn't have like the moments of Metal Gear Solid 2. It didn't have, I got scissors. It didn't have the 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 fucking reveal of yeah, it turns out you don't play a snake here.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Hmm.
uh it doesn't have at the end, right? And look, because the whole thing was with catching freaking dog tags, and at the very end of the game, him being given a dog tag, and he looks at it, and then the camera zoom in into the dog tag, and my fucking name and date of birth is on it, and that's me. He has my dog tag evidently, and then he's like, never heard of him. That was like those moments. I feel like the game didn't have that many of those wacky, special, cool moments. That said, it does have one of the most amazing and fi- fighting end battles of
Mhm.
any game, and one of the best theme songs, probably better than
Than any James
all the
Bond.
James Bond theme songs.
Yes,
Actually,
exactly.
it's so
Exactly.
good. Snake Eater is so good. Oh my god,
Yeah.
you're making me want to go back and play.
All right. So that is, of course, number 6 place overall. Metal Gear Solid 2 appearing on 2 lists, total 21 points. We are now in top 5
Top
territory.
5.
Number 5, coming in with a total of 23 points, appearing on 2 lists, Dead Space 2.
Ooh,
Yes,
that's
sir.
good.
Now, where do you think the 2 lists? So who pulled these 2 up?
I regret that it was not me, because what was I thinking? That game is
I know.
fantastic.
For some reason, you put Near Automata in. I don't know what that's about. I
and I
kid.
stand
I'm
by
so
it.
kidding. I'm so kidding.
One of the best
Above
endings. One of the
Final
best
Fantasy VII
credits.
remake, but whatever, whatever.
One of the best credits ever. That game made me cry. Um, so okay, so who would have been is it Chaos and Dark?
Yes, yes, sir. Chaos has it
Yes.
at his number 5 overall, scoring 6 points, and Dark has it as his number 4 overall, scoring 7 points.
Yeah. It sounds like a game that definitely catered to the interest.
To
To
be
their
fair, though,
dark interest.
I stand by that one. It's like I
Yeah.
remember how. First off, I love Dead Space. I love the original Dead Space. The original Dead Space
Yes.
was fucking
It was incredible.
terrifying. It was
Yes.
really, really
Oh
well done.
yes.
So much so when Dead Space 2 came around, and I love the fact that Isaac had a little bit more of his own agency.
Mhm.
But when I will never forget that game because when I saw the Ishimura and said, "Oh my god, that
You're like,
fucking ship
no,
is
not
still
here,
there, alive
not
somewhere."
again.
Yeah, it's like, and of course, the moment I saw, it, I was like, "Oh, you wouldn't show it to us if you weren't going to make us go there." And god damn it, you made me fucking go there. And it's like the horrors that got involved. But then the game itself, Dead Space 2, evolved the whole game past the first one. First one looked like it was really scary, but also kind of a test run with some things. This
Yeah.
one just
You
felt
can
a
kind
little
of
more
tell
cinematic. Yeah,
it telegraph a lot of the appearances. It's like, oh,
yeah,
here's a vent. We know what's gonna happen.
correct. Yeah.
Let's get the cutter ready.
So I I'm not mad at this decision. Fifth
No,
overall. I,
that feels good.
yeah, that feels
That
good.
that
I'm
that
okay with
feels
that.
good. Listen, the creepy nursery with the exploding babies. That's all. That's
Yeah,
all. That's
that's it.
that's where
That's it.
that's where
That's what nightmares are born from. Yep.
yeah, that's where exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
Absolutely. All right, so that is number 5 overall. Our number 4 overall, scoring a total of 24 points, appearing on 2 lists. Dark Souls 3.
Ooh,
Yes.
shit, it's 4? Yeah,
Fourth
okay.
overall, Dark
Okay.
Souls 3. Sir, can you guess? There's 2 lists, as I mentioned.
I that
I feel like you can guess one.
just 2 lists?
Just 2
Oh, I
lists.
mean, one was me and the
That's right.
other one
Yours was 7th overall, earning 4 points.
for yes, the other one better have been you. Although it should have been it's Chaos sounds like it should have been there also, but
Negative on all of both of that, my friend, is
Dark?
Sparrow Wolf's number one game overall. His
He's
number
not
one
wrong.
game
He's not wrong.
forever is Dark Souls
Wow.
3. And yeah, there you
Wow.
go. Scoring 14 points, getting on 2 lists, gives it another 10 at 24 points. I mean, I have nothing negative to say about Dark
No,
Souls
yeah, I
3.
mean, fucking, it's
It
Dark
didn't
Souls
make my
3.
list, but that's because I just felt other things needed to make my list. But I have no problem with this being number 4
Dark
overall.
Souls 3 was the game that told me, okay, man the fuck up and just go at it. And I had to stop playing because I started with Dark Souls 3, remember? I had to literally stop playing Dark Souls 3, load up Dark Souls 1 and be like, okay, let me face my demons.
Yep.
We're gonna go through it. And I went through it, completed, felt incredible, and then went back to Dark Souls 3, picked up right where I left off, and it felt great. Oh god, it felt so good. And yeah.
That is an easily a game I can see getting another replay in. But yeah, I played that one to
Yes.
completion on my own, and then they did the DLCs, both DLCs with Chaos. I adore that game. It's an excellent game. I love that it's on this list. I would be lying if I didn't say the fact that someone else included it may have been enough for me to say I want something else on my list. You know what I mean? Because of that, but it is excellent game. 100% agree. 4th place overall. Nothing negative to say on that other than God, that was a good ride. That was a good freaking ride.
The Dark Souls, the Dark Souls 3, I'm not a big fan of the mod scene in general. I don't have anything against it, but I tend to gravitate towards playing games the way the developers intended. So like even though I'm on PC, which should be, I might as well be a heretic for not being into mods. There is a mod for Dark Souls 3
Hmm.
that you would have eaten up. It's
Really?
called Dark Souls 3 The Convergence. And
Ooh.
it was like a total conversion. A lot of things change. It's a different story. It takes place in similar places. Obviously, it's a Dark Souls story. Um, Incredibly high uh, production values, very, very well done, very well balanced. I mean, it might as well be it, 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 like this is a perfect opportunity for publishers to pick projects like this and be like, okay, we'll pay you this. Let us release it as DLC for people that will like something different because it will definitely revive a playthrough of Dark Souls 3 if it's suddenly a game that you're familiar with. Oh, but this is entirely different. In more ways than you think. It's like the world itself looks different, but awesome. And it's called The Convergence.
Wow.
You should look at
I should look it
at
up.
a
Yeah.
trailer sometime.
The
Yeah,
trailer. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's Dark Souls 3. Great choice.
great
Finally,
choice. Yes.
guys, we are in it. We are in it to win it. Top 3 of all time.
Ooh, I'm already. You know what?
Mhm.
Can I say
Mhm.
how pleased I am with this with this list so
Are you
far?
happy with the results? Okay, good. That was what I was like. I was trying to do this as fair and evenly,
I
giving
didn't think that
everybody
you could.
their
I did
thing.
not think we could pull it off.
Yeah.
Honestly, I
Okay.
had my doubts. That's why I was like, yeah. I don't know how. I don't like. I think I told you. I don't envy your position if you had to suddenly like put this. I should have
Wait
trusted
till
the
I send you
algorithm.
this spreadsheet, bro. When I send you this spreadsheet, you're like, what the fuck is all this shit? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Number 3, overall,
Number three.
scoring a total of 29 points, appearing on 2 lists.
Still two lists.
Yes, sir.
No quorum yet.
Final Fantasy VII Original.
The
Yes, sir.
original.
Not the remake. And
Not the remake.
I had to confirm many a times to make sure. It's like I need to
That
know,
they
are you
meant
referring to
that.
the remake or referring to the OG? And I got confirmation. You are the only one that referred to the remake on your list at all.
Yeah, because thank God, because if I would have made it otherwise, this thing would have been like probably number one, number two. Um,
Potentially.
yeah,
But yes, 2
no,
lists. Can you guess? This should be hard.
uh, but it is because it's that's a near and dear game for a lot of people. So I'm gonna say you and Chaos.
Nailed it. You see what I'm saying? It should be hard to
Yes.
call. It is number 2 on my list overall, right behind Bioshock.
Wow.
And it is number 1 overall for Chaos. His number 1, OG. He's the one I had to reach out to. It's like,
Wow.
I know which Final Fantasy I mean. Dream Twister
Dude.
said remake, so I know what he means. I need to know what you mean, bro. I need to know where that's at. And so he's like, no, I'm talking about the OG. So that
The
scored it a
original,
total of
yeah.
29 points, giving it 3rd place overall.
I love it.
I don't know what else to say.
I legitimately love the fact that it's there. It's I mean that game talking about a movement, you
Mhm.
can't falter. I mean, listen, I'm a huge fan of remake. I get it. I love what they did. I couldn't think it was possible. They did it. It's fantastic. But yes, in retrospect, I should have given Final Fantasy VII the respect it deserved. Uh, but Final Fantasy IX exists. So, um, go ahead. Go ahead. Before I sink myself deeper.
No, you're fine. I mean, I have
You never played
nothing but
nine.
adoration for that game. 2 overall, and I've always wavered on that. You know, I've told you, you know, a different, honestly, in a different time, you know, you ask me 3 months down the road, it may be number 1, and BioShock falls to number 2. You know what I mean? It's just where
Yeah,
my
it just
mind is at the moment and how I
yeah,
remember it and whatever.
I see that.
Um, it is, it's the game that put me into RPGs. Period. I was not
Yes.
an RPG guy before that. I was action, adventure. I was all this other stuff. The only RPGs I played with, were more like Zelda-like games and stuff like that.
Action
But
RPG.
yeah, action RPGs, never the
Yeah.
turn-based RPGs.
Zelda 3
Um,
has not been mentioned anywhere here.
sure, sure.
That's such Zelda 3 Link to the Past. Like, where is it on the list? Did anybody give it anything?
I will. I'm not going to spoil what the 1 and 2 are, so
Okay,
we'll get
okay.
to that. But and I'll mention. Obviously, you'll know at that point whether it's not or not. But no, it's the it and it wasn't just me. Obviously, I got swept in with everybody else. I remember all the coverage that they were doing for the game because it was like, oh my god! After the success that was Final Fantasy VI, which was an amazing game, here they're doing it. They're supposed to go with Nintendo. They end up going with this company called Sony, who's doing their own gaming console, and this, you know what I
Shit,
mean? It was this
I missed
entire,
all that. I
yeah,
did
it was
not
all
realize any of that.
swarm into all that, and I was all into it at that point. I was like, oh my god, I want in on this. I don't even know what it is, but I want in. And then it delivered. I mean, it delivered one of the most powerful stories to me. Yes, it still has its silly anime moments, but overall, I mean, we were all there, man. When
Yeah.
Aerith died, and it was just like this. That just didn't happen in a game that I can recall
Nope.
before that, where a major character in your party in any type of game that you're playing is ripped away from you. It's one thing that they just choose to go that way and say, you know what, you do you. I'm gonna. No, they're ripped away from you,
Yeah.
and you spent time with this character. You spent, you getting to know them in the gold saucer, and then leveling them just in general, just to get them to whatever. To
Mhm.
have them ripped out of your party, and then
That's your
this
healer
too,
also.
yeah, this too was the fallout, bro. This too was all the fallout. It's like, now what do we do? Because that was my method. She was my healer. She was
Yes.
whatever. How do we get past this? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No game, up to that point, and I would argue maybe even since has had that type of thing. I can't think of one at least. And
There
so
definitely have been, but
I'm
it's
sure
more
there is,
like
but yeah, I haven't. Yeah,
copying the
yeah,
fact that
exactly, exactly. At
yeah.
this point, it's already been done. So it's like, we saw that already.
Yeah.
But yeah, at that point, it really, and then let's be real, it's also very, very beautiful graphic wise for its time as well.
Yeah, oh yeah, no.
Using the pre-rendered backgrounds and
The
and all
music
that
is
stuff, and the music. Oh my god, bro! Oh
extraordinary.
my
Like,
god!
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I am, you know what? I am super happy to see it where it should be. Like, that's exactly
Number
what
three
I was.
overall. Number
Yeah,
three overall, man.
yeah,
I feel
yeah.
like, as I'm saying,
Absolutely.
this list is going to make sense by the
Dude,
time
it
you guys say
fucking
this.
worked. I can't believe I'm literally aghast that this has worked as well as it did.
Yeah.
I will never distrust the algorithm anymore.
So number 2 overall, scoring a total of 34 points, appearing on 3 lists.
34.
Yes. The original Dark Souls, ladies and
Yes!
gentlemen. The OG Dark Souls.
I feel like the world has been vindicated. It's not so bad. People are not as evil as 2016 made it look like. It's actually, there's hope in this world. There's, I can see angels shuffling their feet. It is good to be. It's a wonderful world.
It makes sense. The algorithm makes sense.
It
People,
makes
it's all
sense. I
about
can't
how we
believe it.
do
You
it. Yeah.
made Mad Dog, you freaking devil, you made it. You somehow made, dude. Dude, I'm gonna get my keys, go there, and give you a hug because it it worked. I can't believe it.
Yeah, I told you. It's like,
I
just
can't
trust.
fucking believe it.
We have to. You just have to have a method. You just have to have a method. But yeah, man.
That's amazing. You just Final Fantasy 14 this shit in general. You don't mind Skyrim, actually. That's how
I
good this
mean,
is.
it's what it comes to. But
Bra fucking Vo.
number 2 overall, the OG Dark Souls. I mean,
Dark Souls.
hell, I would almost say that the GG group was built on my experience with the original Dark Souls when it first came out. Shortly before, I remember the first thing I did was ask just random gaming questions for everybody and got everybody talking. And then shortly thereafter, Dark Souls comes out on PlayStation 3, and I jump all upon, and I am hooked right up until the point where you have to go to Blythetown.
Yeah,
And I was like,
exactly.
I can't, I
Blyton
can't,
was
I
the
can't, I
blight
can't, I
of that
can't. Yeah.
game.
Yeah. So
Oh
that said,
shit!
obviously, I finally came around a couple years ago, or last year, was it? I think it was
Last
last
year,
year. Yeah.
yeah, last
Finally
year.
came back around with the remastered and jumped in it. And those hooks found the original holes
Yeah,
that I already had in me and said, this is perfect fit. Let's grab them and keep them with.
like a
Uh,
bowling ball that
yeah,
fit.
pretty much. And I just couldn't stop, man. I couldn't stop. And I was like, this is that
Wow.
wonderful. Then Blythetown ran perfectly. God, I couldn't believe how well it ran. I was like, oh my God, this is what beauty looks like in
this
in the
is this
sludge
is
hell. Yeah. So,
this is how it
um,
should have been all along.
yeah, man. And then dude, everything all up until the point where I get to the end and take on oh my God, I forgot his name now, but take on the last king, the last boss
Yeah, I
who's
forgot
who's
it.
a king, and then parry that motherfucker. And I was like, yeah! I was like, oh my God, I could not feel more
I
badass
am
at that
a
point.
god.
After everything I had to go through to get there, because it was the
Uh,
original Dark Souls is still today a challenging game, even if you know it. You
oh
know what I
yeah,
mean?
oh yeah.
And so, oh my God, oh, and then from there, I mean, that awakened the desire that I think
At that
you
point,
have,
yeah,
that we
it
all
was
have at this
on.
point, yeah. And so, yeah, man.
And then we looked at Dark Souls 2 and we're like,
Which I
that's
still
okay. No,
own,
no
and
thanks.
I'm just like,
Sorry.
I feel like I should. We should co-op that shit. At least you know what I mean. Just to co-op it. It's like it doesn't matter.
I
We don't
tried it.
care how
I
hard it is.
honestly, I gave it a try, and I went on it, and you know what it was? It was they muck up the formula too much. It
Yeah,
didn't feel the same.
I
It
can
didn't
see
feel
that.
like it was the same thing. It
It's
was
still scored. It's still scored 9 out of 10s for the
oh yeah,
record.
no, no.
Even though,
It's
yeah.
it's
So
still it's
it's
still a
still out
phenomenal
there.
game, but Dark Souls 3 exists. So
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So yeah. So that's our number two. Sir, any words for Dark Souls before we move on to number one?
I want to thank the Academy for making Dark Souls the number 2 game of all time because that could only mean one thing.
Wait, I think I lost you. I'm not hearing you now because I can only
I
what?
can you can hear me? Okay.
Oh my
I
God.
just
Wait.
gonna continue.
Oh, there it
Yeah.
is. Okay.
Yes.
We can hear
I
you.
was
Okay.
here. Yeah. I said that I said that I'm so glad that Dark Souls got recognized. It has a position number 2 position because that can only mean one thing.
Oh, it's sure. Sir, with a total of 42 points, appearing on 4 lists. Of course, what else is to say other than to say, obviously, we're talking about Elden Ring. So real quick. Oh, I
Yes.
didn't even say this before. I'm sorry. Real quick.
Oh, I
So
love all my friends.
Dark Souls appeared on Dark's list as his number 3 overall. It appeared on Chaos list as his number 3 overall, and it appeared on my list as number 3 overall.
Which one? Which one was mine?
You didn't have Dark Souls. You had Dark Souls 3, but you didn't have the first Dark Souls.
Oh, that's true. Yes, that is true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that it would have been too many Dark Souls.
I mean, that probably would have. No, I don't think it would have taken number one.
Yeah,
So
my vote
yeah,
would have. Yeah.
yeah. Elden Ring appeared on 4 lists. Yes, that means there's one amongst us that did not even have it on their list at all, mind you.
That person needs to get banned. That person is so disconnected out of gaming.
So to be fair, it was number 4 on my list overall. Number
Number
one, number number 4.
4, you fucking heretic.
It was behind the first Dark Souls, Final Fantasy VII OG and Bioshock. Yes, sorry, it sits back there. When I look at this and I go,
Yeah,
I
I guess
love
I
Elden
can
Ring,
dispute
but
that with you.
I was like, those three sit
That
in
is the most
front.
logical. That is the more logical. Yeah, yeah,
But
makes
it
sense.
is number one on your list, as you mentioned. So that's 10
Yes.
points. It is number one on Dark's list. And it is number 6 on Sparrow's list.
So he
Uh,
was on everybody's list then.
no, because it's not on Chaos list at all.
The fuck, Chaos? What the fuck? I thought I'm messaging him right now. What the fuck? I need to fucking set the record straight because
He said, I'm messaging his
what
ass
the
right now. It is. And I told everybody to check your list
what
twice.
the
Make sure
fuck?
you're not missing something.
There you go.
I'm gonna send you. I'm gonna send you the here. I'm gonna send you the full top 10 here, so you can see it.
Holy shit!
And so you can see.
I need to see Chaos lives because I feel like Chaos was the Florida of the elections. I need to. I mean, we still
Oh
won,
my god,
but
that is.
still,
He said
it
we
just.
still won, but I don't like how we won.
I
So,
don't like how we won.
oh my
Exactly.
god. All right, so I'm gonna send you this with this. Oh wait, let me. I have a missing. Hold on, anyway, so Elden Ring, bro. I mean, not that we need to talk about Elden Ring. Like we haven't fucking said
I
enough
already
about it.
did.
Yeah. But
2 hours or 3 hours ago.
yeah, excellent game. It's
Oh,
so rewarding. It has so much you can do. It's absolutely ridiculous, and it's just Here, I'm gonna send you
and
his.
it proves that it doesn't. You don't need to be the most beautiful game, although that game is still gorgeous, but it's not the epitome of graphics, and it doesn't need to be if you have your gameplay packed down. Like if you nail that gameplay, and it's basically it's basically what this list did to me. I was hesitant when I heard of Elden Ring because I was like, after getting out of Dark Souls 3, I was like, "Ooh, I don't know how I feel about an open world. I don't know if they can pull it off. I don't know if this is, I'm a little concerned because it's gonna be very easy in some areas, and I don't know." And I just had to play it to experience it and realize that I should have trusted them from the get go.
Yeah, I sent you his overall list, sir. His top 10, and you can see
Let me
it's not
see
on
this
there.
thing. Let me see this fucking thing. Let's see. Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 14. You have two Final Fantasies in the list, so you're already biased. Dark Souls, Doom Eternal, Dead Space 2, Metal Gear Solid 3, Titanfall 2. The thing is, his list doesn't look bad if it wasn't for the fact that he has two Final Fantasies in there, and that bothers me.
That alone is a problem. It's a problem.
That alone
For the
is a
record, the
fucking
reason
problem.
I
But
have those,
he's not
the,
wrong, and I can't fault him for. I mean,
yeah. I mean,
I
no one's
mean,
wrong, right? It's your own personal opinion. So there's no
Elden
wrong or
Ring,
right.
Elden Ring. I might say, or some might say that Elden Ring is the Skyrim of our time, because I recognize the Skyrim, even though I never played it to completion, but it was it. I mean, that was good Bethesda. That was back in the day, Bethesda being phenomenal and just like Blizzard used to be, believe it or not. So yeah, I can't I can't really blame him, but Elden Ring should have been somewhere here. It's like, what the fuck? Actually, you know what? I'm glad that you sent me this because I'm gonna be like, what the fuck is this?
I'm gonna send this. Honestly, I'm gonna send this to everybody because I want everybody to see how I was able to do this. First off, and kind of make sense of what it is. Like I just sent him his thing. You can see it's ranked from 10 to 1, and then the
Uh-huh.
points are on the opposite end. I did the same thing with everybody else's list. And then from that point, you just sum it up, right? It's like, okay, well, there's going to be a bunch of games that don't get 1 point because everybody's number 10. If you really look at the first couple lists that I sent you, those
Uh-huh.
four that were number 19 overall is because that was everyone's number 10 that wasn't doubled up anywhere at any point. You know what I mean? And it just kind of worked its way down from that. It made sense. It was like, okay, it'll all add up when we get to the end, and it did, and so. But
It,
yeah, man, it is Elden Ring,
Elden
ladies and
Ring is
gentlemen.
the
Which,
best
I
game of
mean,
all
if
time,
you're
which
of a long time listener of the podcast already, this really shouldn't come as any fucking surprise at this point. You know what I mean? Not only is it all time,
what did you
it's going to
expect
take
it to be?
2022. It
Destiny
may take
2?
2023 if fucking they do some sort of DLC next year. So you know what I mean?
That's true.
So just keep that in mind for the next few years. That's just that's just the where we're going with. So
Motherfucker
he said,
has
"I'm
the
not
gall
sorry."
to say, I'm not sorry.
So for the record, we are messaging with Chaos at the moment, and we told him
Oh,
because he was like,
live.
"What did I do?" And it's like, "Oh, well, there's no Elden Ring on your list," and he's like, "I am not sorry."
I am not sorry. I love you, bro. I love you with all your faults.
I know. We won't hold that against you. We won't hold
We
that.
won't hold that against you.
We won't hold it. All right.
Oh,
Well,
that's
there you
funny.
go, guys. If you ever have a doubt as to what is the best game of all time, we just fucking told you. You know what I mean? So
Take this
take that
list
shit to
and
the
put
bank
it on the
and
refrigerator.
exactly. Please reference it anytime there's a conversation or so some argument. Say no, no, no. The gentleman from the Mouthful podcast said that this game was above this game. So you, sir, ma'am, gentlemen, misses, are wrong.
Yes.
And that's it. You leave it at that.
Yes,
Um,
let them know that is the Souls games ran with this, proving that those are the superior
those are the superior
gameplay,
game. Exactly.
the
They
epic
sure did.
experiences.
They sure did. And to be fair, I mean, that's with the truth of the matter is, I think we were all kind of involved with those games. But I think everyone will agree, and I feel like Elden Ring was that opening to just keep people to go say, you know what? These games are not the difficult, challenging games that you think they are. They
Yeah, they're
really
not
are
unsurmountable like a
fair
lot of
in
people
many
think.
ways, and exactly, they are not insurmountable. It's really just good old preparation, planning, and getting into, you know what I mean? And
Yeah,
that, I think, is what makes them special. And that's why, yes, they do run the gambit in the top 10. I mean, that's the reality of it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And Elden Ring sits at the top because it's the best example so far
Hmm.
of it, to us, obviously,
Yeah.
to the ones who are making the list. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of another awesome episode of Gigi's The Mouthful Podcast.
And
Thank you
awesomely
so much for
was.
tuning in. If you haven't already, please make sure you go to goodgame.rocks, join the conversation there, like, subscribe, share the podcast with everyone. This
Mhm.
is Mad Dog signing off this week saying, hell yeah, Elden Ring's the fucking best game of all time. What kind of simpleton wouldn't put that there? Mr. David Santos, take us home.
I feel like I should mention a general warning to the audience
Uh-oh.
that Chaos is no longer being a trusted member of our group. Take everything he says with a grain of salt.
Wow.
Because he has no. No, I'm kidding. I'm fucking kidding, Chaos. You are definitely entitled to your opinion, and I do respect your list, and I do agree with your list. And putting Skyrim on top took some balls, but it was. I mean, that's undisputed. That shouldn't be disputed. And I'm certainly not gonna dispute fucking Skyrim because if anything, that's I feel like Elden Ring wanted to become something like something of that nature, but for the Souls games.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I can definitely appreciate it, and my hat to you, sir. My hat to you. Even though I'm still a little
It's a
shaken.
little salty.
Still a little shaken. No, actually, I mean, I would have, you know, Dark has a lot of fighting games that he could have put there. Like I would have probably expected Dark to go to battle with one of the one of the fighting another fighting game maybe. Although I wouldn't have expected him to not have Elden Ring there. But I'm surprised. Also, probably one of my favorite gaming memories of all time was this year when we were all playing Elden
Oh
Ring
my god,
together.
that alone says how amazing that game. We spent literally that month, the
Yes.
month that game came out,
Yes.
just every day. And you know what? I mean, even my wife got it. She even said, it was just like, "Oh, you know, okay." 'Cause I normally remember I have like the days that I normally set to play. Nope.
She even
That was
recognized
basically
that
she
this
was just
was.
like, "No, I get it. It's a thing." And it was just, and we were in it, in it. And we were involved. I mean, we were just playing the game. I think half the time we were even listening to each other. We were just talking and not really talking to each other. It was just
Oh,
listening while we are on the chat group. It was
yep.
just like, oh my god, this fucking thing, god damn it. It was, it
Oh,
was
like I think I invented new and exciting expletives
mhm.
that came out of my mouth that I am kind
Yes,
of ashamed
yes.
actually.
In retrospect, you're probably
um,
like, wow, I probably should have said all that.
yeah, no, and I'm not a fucking prude or anything by any definition or nature or anything like that. But I kind of exceeded I like yeah. That game got the best of me and the worst of me. Those some very good emotions to have.
Oh my god, yeah.
Malekith, you fucking son of a.
Oh yeah, god. Yeah, he was
Oh, he was it. He
yeah.
was the wall.
No,
Once I.
to be honest with you, you say that, but for me, the wall was the freaking guy outside of that wall.
Yes,
Because it was
at
just like,
night.
and the sad part is, it wasn't until later that I can find, because I saw one of you fuckers go, "Oh, I'm just gonna run past this fucker," and I'm like,
That's
"What?"
probably me.
Yeah, I was like, "What?" Here I am, fucking banging my head against the wall with this guy that couldn't run. But at that point, I was like, I don't give a shit. At this point, I'm committed. I'm going to
I
fucking
need to
do this.
finish. I need to end him.
Yeah. So, all right, guys. With that, I guess we will see you next week. GG!